presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
For Padre fans last night, a very good sight. Will Myers, a monster 3-run home run, and he has been hot. 5 for his last 15 during a 4-game hitting streak. Unfortunately, there was not a win to follow that home run because of that guy. Eric Thames hit his first career walk-off home run at a very good game against the Padres here at Miller Park in Milwaukee. It's game 2 of a 3-game weekend series between the Padres and the leading team in the National League Central, the Milwaukee Brewers. Welcome back to Miller Park with Mark Grant. I'm Jesse Agler. Very glad to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon. Mud, a lot of home runs last night. It was entertaining. It was good to watch. At the end, though, it was the Brewers who pulled ahead and won the ball game. Hunter Renfroe, though, another one last night, meaning home runs, and he has had a very nice rookie year.
And you know what? He's batting 5th tonight. That's the most he's batted this year for Andy Green and the Padres, and he's had the most success. He's hitting .228. There's a punch out in there. But in that position, the 5th position, .262, 9 home runs. When he is ahead in the count, he's hitting .387. I think this is all predicated on cutting down on the strikeouts, pulling the breaking ball with authority like there, but on the fastball, middle away, go to right center field. If he could wear that out, he's going to have more success with home runs that way as well.
Yeah, Hunter Renfroe's got real deal power. So does this entire Brewer team, it seems.
4 home runs last night. They are tied for 2nd in the National League with 98 home runs. Why? Well, they hit mistakes. When you fall behind, they look for the one pitch in their zone, and they could take it that way. They could take it the opposite way. But here's the deal. If you get ahead, there's a strikeout there, this Brewer team. 2nd most strikeouts in the National League with 662. That's a lot of swings and misses. Hopefully we see that this afternoon.
Yeah, Keon Broxton, more strikeouts than any hitter in the National League. He's a part of that, but as you said, it is spread around pretty good. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk some pitcher defense. What a play by Craig Stammen last night. Bob Scanlon gets reaction from the clubhouse on the Houdini Act by the veteran right-hander. Juan Casino. Sign up for the Padres club card today. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger and chicken sandwich for a limited time only. What a play last night by Craig Stammen, cutting down a big run at the plate. For more on that play, let's check in with Bob Scanlon.
Well, thanks, Jesse. We got a chance to see it right there, and you can't see it enough. It was an outstanding play, one that Craig Stammen says he only dreams about. He got a chance to make one of them last night. Here's what the clubhouse had to say about that outstanding backhanded stab.
It's probably the best one, but it was the most luckiest play too I've ever made.
Very exciting to see sitting out in the bullpen and watch him do that. You know, we got pretty fired up.
No shot. I feel like I've seen pitchers try and do that all the time. I don't think I've ever seen it happen in person. You see it on TV every now and then, but to watch it happen in person and be able to throw the guy at home is pretty sweet.
From a pitcher, good qualifier there. Yeah, it's a great play. It's a big play of the situation too.
You ever done a behind the back catch like that before?
In my dreams I have, so that was the first time dream come true, I guess you could say.
Not only a big play, but an important part of the ball game. That was the tying run on third base when he made that play in the fourth inning. Calm, cool, collected, no sweat at all. Just made a nice throw to home plate to get that force out. He hopes he gets a chance to do it again. Right now, it's time for a Padre power surge. 3 home runs in last night's ball game. The roof is open again. Everything is primed for another power surge. We'll see if they can get it done. Denelson Lamet, Chase Anderson, Padres, Brewers, next, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Padres' third home run of the night. And it is gone. Well, if you like home runs, last night was the night for you. We'll see about today. Our weather report is brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. It is warm, but really kind of beautiful. Late spring afternoon in the upper Midwest. 85 degrees. Wind shouldn't be too much of a factor, although it doesn't take wind to send the ball out of here. With Mark Grant, Bob Scanlon, and our entire Fox Sports San Diego crew, I'm Jesse Agler here at Miller Park in Milwaukee. Take a look at the Padre lineup now, brought to you by San Diego County Toyota dealers. And Andy Green pencils in the same 1 through 8 as he did in last night's series opener. Jose Perella, Franchi Cordero, Will Myers, Jan Hervey Solarte, Hunter Renfroe, Corey Spangenberg, Austin Hedges, Alan Cordoba, and the pitcher Denelson Lamet, looking for his first major league hit, will bat 9th. Chase Anderson on the bump. the former Diamondback, making his 14th start of the season.
He's their best pitcher right now. He's got a little bit of ace in that chase. Fastball, changeup, curveball, and more cut fastballs. The velocity is up a couple ticks. And like I said, everything doing well, getting ahead, breaking balls for strikes, and the numbers prove that.
Each of his last 4 starts has been very, very good. And in each of those last 4, he has gone over 100 pitches. So like you said, acting like an ace out there and being able to pitch deep into games to run that pitch count up, that's part of being an ace. Anderson out there in the Father's Day blue. You saw him scribbling on the back of his mound. Anderson lost his father back in 2012 as a minor leaguer. Still wears his late father's socks, cowboy boots, belt buckle, jeans, polo shirt to the park before every home start. Nice tribute to his dad, and Jose Pirela takes strike 1. And we're underway here in game 2 of this 3-game series.
Nothing like a beautiful day in America's Dairyland to watch a big league ball game. Bounce back after last night's game.
Pirela got the trouble started on a fly ball to center field last night. This one to center field is chasing Broxton back, but he will drift, and this time he makes the catch because last night he was unable to. A 2-base error, and the Padres, next thing you know, had a 4-0 lead. Defensively for the beer makers, you just saw Broxton in center. He's flanked by Hernan Perez in left and Domingo Santana in right. Arcia made that great play on Hunter Renfroe late in the game last night. Shaw at third, Sogard and Thames on the right side. Jet Bandy behind the dish this afternoon. Arcia, hey, the errors are going to be there because he gets to everything there in his rookie season. Left-handed hitting Franchi Cordero. And he lays off the first one from Anderson off speed. 1 ball and no strikes. Anderson's last start came against his old team, the Arizona Diamondbacks, at Chase Field. That was Sunday. Went 6, allowed just a run on 4 hits, 8 strikeouts, only 1 walk. And he's been good at home as well. Nice changeup there. And 1-1 on Cordero.
He's breaking it out early. And we featured Franchi Cordero a couple of games ago about how he likes the ball low. He can hit a changeup. That was a changeup there. Swing and miss.
Fastball that time. And he's ahead in the count 2-1. Cordero last night was 0 for 3, but you know what? Very impressive. A couple of walks. And for a young guy that you expect to be aggressive, perhaps even jumpy up there, he's done a very nice job of showing patience at the plate. And now ahead, 3 balls and 1 strike.
I just think with more reps, seeing more pitches, and the opportunity to work more with Alan Zinter day in and day out, I think it's just going to work to his advantage.
That's a big hits as of late. 7 for 14 in the Red Series with his first 3 big league home runs. And now a full count, 3-2. If you're just tuning in and perhaps confused by the uniforms, it's a Father's Day thing. Both teams will be wearing these blue Father's Day uniforms today and tomorrow. You see all the teams around the league in similar garb.
Something that occurred to me, and I think it's kind of strange. Not many times does the home team wear their city name on their chest.
It's very true.
Usually they have Brewers, but they have Milwaukee today on their chest.
It's in the style of their blue alternate jersey they wear here. Cordero wearing the San Diego on his chest.
Change up.
Yeah. And he pops it up. Shaw, the third baseman, just out of his reach.
Flash look. You got the railing there, and you got to be careful because your momentum might look out right into the camera well, and makes a good adjustment. Teetering on the railing. Good effort by the Brewer third baseman.
Teetered, then he tottered, but unable to make the play. And a good battle here between Chase Anderson and Franchi Cordero.
Anderson touching 96 right there, challenging him.
Last night, teams combined to hit 7 home runs, and all 11 runs in the game came home via the long ball, including, of course, the walk-off shot by Eric Thames. Second pitch at the bottom of the 10th. Got it. That's the changeup, and that's strikeout number 1 for Chase Anderson. Cordero hung tough, but eventually the right-hander wins that battle.
Well, we talk about strengths and weaknesses. How about the strength? The curveball, when put in play, 152. Wow. Weakness, doesn't throw a lot of changeups for strikes. He showed the Cordero that he can make that adjustment. He threw 2 or 3 dandies. And then the rest of his arsenal. Hey, incorporate more of the cut fastball. That's part of the success of Anderson lately.
Yeah. Much more of that now than ever before in his career. And Will Myers stands in, one of the 3 Padres to go deep in last night's game, his 13th of the season. The question is, will that be the swing to get him going? Was hit by a pitch his next time up, so he didn't get the full complement of at-bats, but Andy Green has talked about it. Will's the kind of guy that he just needs that one really good swing to kind of kick everything back into gear.
And if he's going to get cutters from Anderson, he got to wear out right center field. Talk about Hunter Renfroe in our pregame show. Same type deal for Will Myers. Looks like Anderson going out and in. He's going to mix it up.
That one drops in. And a called strike on the outside corner now, 2-1. Anderson comes in with the 5th lowest ERA in the National League. And he's been even better here at home than he has been away from Miller Park. Everything down so far to Myers. And that one left out over the middle of the plate, but harmlessly into center field. Broxton makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 top of the first inning for Chase Anderson. Brewers are coming up against Dinelson Lamet. From his days with the Milwaukee Braves earlier on in his career.
Finished up with the Brewers to end his career. Never hit 50 home runs in a season.
Take a look at the Brewer lineup now, put together by Craig Counsell. 3rd season as the Milwaukee manager. Mix it up a little bit from last night. Sogard, Thames, Santana. Shaw, Perez was not in the lineup yesterday, nor was the catcher Bandy. Broxton at center, RC at short, and the pitcher Chase Anderson batting 9th. Last night's hero getting ready to hit second here in the bottom of the first inning. And the scouting report on Padres starter Dinelson Lamet is brought to you by the San Diego Boat Show.
24-year-old making his 5th start. 2 and 4-seamer, slider, curveball, and changeup. Look for the 2-seamer into the lefties. We can talk about the splits. 333 versus left-handers, and fastball command is so key. Home run hitting team, take the sting out. Off speed is a big key this afternoon as well.
Starts out missing to Sogard.
Not really a good curveball hitting team, Jesse. So let's see if that comes into play for Dinelson this afternoon.
Sogard playing in his 30th game of the year. Began the season at AAA. 1 for 5 in last night's contest. Got a little 4-game hitting streak going. And getting some more opportunity here at second base with Jonathan Villar on the disabled list. Nice little piece. Eric Sogard. Now ball and 2 strikes. Started the year at AAA. Dinelson Lamet started last year at Single-A, pitching for the Lake Elsinore Storm. I'm always amazed by these guys who pitch 1 year at 3 levels, and next thing you know, in the big leagues.
4th year as a pro. Just think, 2014, he's playing for the Dominican Summer League Padres. The fast track to the big leagues.
Gets Sogard swinging there. And a strikeout to open up the afternoon for Lamet. He, of course, struck out 8 men in each of his first 2 major league starts this season. Just the second Padre to ever do that. And here comes last night's hero for the Milwaukee Brewers, Eric Thames. I mean, we use the term wall scraper a lot in baseball, but this one literally scraped the top of the wall.
He did the same thing in St. Louis, top of the wall. Sends everybody home happy, except if you're a Padres fan, and then they ripped his jersey to shreds.
He was not expecting that. That is not something that was really happening in the big leagues the last time he played in the majors back in 2012. They don't do it in Korea, where he spent the last 3 years. So yeah, he was caught off guard by them ripping the jersey off of his back. And Lamet behind now, 2 balls and no strikes. Thames is now homered in 3 straight games. It's look at what he walked into. And I can see how that might be confusing if you're not expecting it. That was the first Brewer walk-off home run since May of 2015.
I would have lost that bet.
I mean, with all the home runs they hit here, you can run into those. Since that time, the Padres have had 6 walk-off home runs, including Renfroe against the Brewers this season. Big swing and a miss there, 96 from Thames, and I know Andy Green and Darren Balsley love the power fastball that he's got. Lamet struck out Sogard to open the bottom of the first, and he gets Thames. Back-to-back Ks, and 2 away here in the opening frame. Padres defense is brought to you by the San Diego County Ford dealers. Same as yesterday. On the infield, Corey Spangenberg made a nice catch on a line drive. He's getting consistent playing time at third base right now. Cordoba over there to his left. Solarte on Myers on the right side with Perella, Cordero, and Renfroe left to right in the outfield. Austin Hedges catching Dinelson Lamet here in his 5th major league start. Ball's behind with a fastball against Domingo Santana. Win for the Brewers last night was their 4th in a row. They have not won 5 straight games since September of 2015. Nice spotted fastball there. 1-1. Nice numbers for the corner outfielder. 0 for 3 in last night's game, but he did walk. And way out in front of that one. Lamet ahead of him 1-2.
Getting the feel for that slider is very, very key, and it seems like Lamet has got that with no problem this afternoon. First 2 strikeouts on that slider. Hey, throw another one.
Got him with a fastball. 97 tipped into Hedges' mitt. And how about Dinelson Lamet? Strikes out this side. 1, 2, 3, all swinging here in the first.
Park, and Chase Anderson will face the 4, 5, 6 batters of the Padre lineup right now, and he has made some changes to have this turnaround season for himself. 3 things in particular. During the offseason, first of all, he gained 10 pounds of muscle mass to try to help his velocity. That's made a difference. He's throwing 1 to 1.5 miles per hour harder this year on all of his pitches. Number 2, he lowered his arm slot, and number 3, he's pitching inside more to right-hand batters than he has in the past. All 3 of those things in an attempt to balance out the crazy splits that he's had throughout his career. He's been so much more effective against left-handers and right-handers so far this season. He's had a little bit more success against the righties. We'll see if the Padres can do some damage against him here in the second. Guys?
The old reverse splits. Thank you, Bob. Solarte, Renfroe, and Spangenberg against Anderson here. A 1-2-3 top of the first with 1 strikeout. And Yanhervis in the air, pretty good. Right field. Did he get another one? Santana is back, and it's gone. Solarte, for the 2nd consecutive game, goes deep. He's got 3 homers in his last 5 games now, and the Padres on the board first here. Lead homer in the 2nd inning for Yanhervis Solarte.
Well, like last night, the Padres getting on the board early with the 4 spot in the 1st inning. The thing is, get on the board early and keep pressing. Hey, what a great effort by Santana. And that's crushing a mistake. That's getting a mistake.
Renfroe also went deep yesterday. This one not going to leave the yard. Thames waits on it, makes the catch. 1 away. All right, you were just talking about keys to the game. Let's take a look at them. Brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers. And this is exactly what you were just talking about, the early lead and adding on.
De-ace Chase.
Oh, I see what you did there.
He's their best pitcher, and try to, you know, send him on his way early.
De-ace him, make him no longer the ace.
That's right. And then early lead and then add on. We talked about it last night. We talked about it today. So why not be a key to the game? Keep pressing, keep adding on.
I like that first one. Not that I don't like the second one. Thanks to you. Here's Corey Spangenberg. Takes the fastball away. 1 ball and no strikes. Corey, the only Padre to be held off the bases in last night's opener. Playing in his 44th game, began the year at AAA El Paso, where he played in 17 games before getting the call up. A little bit out in front there. It's funny, I think about that. It was a little bit of a surprise, I think, to a lot of us when Spangenberg did not open the season on the Major League roster. And Andy Green talked about it. He said, you know, I had a conversation with him, as I have with other guys the last couple of years, that, hey, just because you're not starting here doesn't mean you're not going to be here, and it can happen really quickly. And he said most guys just kind of roll their eyes at you, right? Like, I know, that's the cliche thing. But it turns out to be true. He spent basically 2.5 weeks at AAA, and then he's been back, and now in the last couple of weeks, he's playing pretty much every day at third base.
And that could play with your mind. I'm telling you, you get called into the office and you're getting sent down to AAA, especially after spring training. It's tough. That's why you have to be mentally tough in this game and not let it affect you. It's a totally different world.
Spangenberg obviously went down there with the right attitude. 348 at AAA. That was the average.
That's the big key. A lot of guys, you know, can lower their chin and you know, woe is me. No, not Corey.
It's all paying off for him here. And Anderson with a nice breaking ball to catch him looking. That's the second for the Milwaukee starter. 2 outs and the base is empty here in the top of the 2nd inning. Anderson, by the way, had allowed just 1 earned run in his last 4 starts. And the Padres get to him here early on the Solarte home run. It had been a while since he allowed a run here at Miller Park. 2nd best home ERA in the National League. Solarte not interested or concerned with any of that. Here's your pick, and pick the stick, right?
I had Will Myers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. I think Mike Pomeranz had Solarte, so he's off to a good start. Who did you have?
I took Corey Spangenberg.
Oh, so sorry.
It's a long game, man.
I know.
I think Bob Scanlon at Austin Yankees. I was like, he mixed the numbers and the psychology together.
I got you.
It was a good explanation. That's why it stuck in my head. Just foul at third base.
You know what I've noticed about Anderson? Righties, he's going from the third base side of the rubber. Lefties, he's going from the first base side of the rubber.
What's he trying to accomplish there?
That straight line in. You know, Bob Scanlon talked about better against righties. If you look at his pivot foot right now, it's in contact with the third base side of the rubber right here. And when he's against lefties, he's over here.
Keep an eye on that. Padres don't have a left-handed hitter up again until Franchi Cordero, about 5 batters from now, but that's very interesting, and the little adjustments a guy can make to try and be more effective against the different handed batters. Going back to the fastball away against Hedges.
Well, here's what I mean. If his foot is here, he can get that direct line on the inside part of the plate, right? And then to a lefty, you get a little bit of an angle there, and vice versa from that side of the rubber against the lefty.
So you don't want the angle, or he doesn't want the angle. Full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hedges. It had been 0-2. Shortstop Cordova would be next in the 8th spot. They want it away again.
There's that angle from the third base side going down and away to the right-handed hitter.
Is that something you think that a batter concerns himself with?
Oh, I think anytime you can get an angle rather than coming straight on, I think it works to the advantage of the pitcher. I think it's a very uncomfortable thing for a hitter too. Very tough ball, very tough pitch to pull, I would think, down and away from that angle.
Reaches for it, does pull it, but Hernan Perez backs up, makes the catch, and that's it for the Padres here in the 2nd inning. They do, however, get the first run of the day. Yangervis Solarte with his 8th home run of the season puts the Padres on top 1-0 here in the 2nd. Richard, let's hop in the Wayback Machine. That's a pretty good swing, and that's going to be a home run for the veteran left-hander from his first stint with the Padres, his first and only major league home run at the very end of the 2012 season. It took place right here at Miller Park in Milwaukee.
Squint's going deep. I love it.
Talk about a wonderful guy to have around for all these young pitchers. Shaw goes after the first pitch from Lamet. Fouls it away, 0-1. He hit one of the 4 home runs last night. It was a solo shot leading off the 2nd inning. Here he is again leading off the 2nd inning. He got Diaz. Lamet, very nice. 1, 2, 3. 3 strikeout first. Looked like a curveball that time. A little bit up. 1-1.
He's got a good feel for it early.
Shaw, their leading hitter in terms of average and number of hits.
Swings through that fastball, and Lamet, it seems like so far doing exactly what they wanted him to do, which was trust the power fastball up in the zone.
And also trust Austin Hedges. Let's check and see if there's very few shakeoffs this afternoon.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And in the air down the left field line, out of play. Got Sogard swinging, Thames swinging, Santana swinging, and now he's ahead of Travis Shaw, 1-2.
It's warm down on that field. Look at the numbers on Lamet's back, how the perspiration. Fastball up here.
Got a piece.
Doesn't take much to get loose and stay loose today in America's Dairyland.
Nice and warm out there, although at least he's pitching in the shade. Outfield is a little bit sunny, and there you go. 4 straight strikeouts for Dinelson Lamet. He gets Shaw swinging, and this is a very encouraging sort of thing right now. And you talked about it, but that slider's looked good so far.
Somebody is slider happy today. Eric Sogard, the slider. Eric Thames, slider down and in. What's the big key? Getting ahead. Travis Shaw cannot connect. It's not only the slider, it's when the slider is thrown with 2 strikes and the location of that breaking ball for the strikeout.
Now Hernan Perez did not start in last night's game. He takes a fastball low. Pinch hit in the 7th inning of the game, grounded out. That ended a 7-game hitting streak. It's always tough. Popped up. Myers. No.
Always a good atmosphere here at Miller Park when there's a lot of fans. It's almost polka-like. Right?
Last night, 31,000 plus in the building, and another really nice crowd here today.
I'm expecting to see a guy out there with a big smile on his face and playing the accordion.
Sure.
Right?
Make you think of Montreal at all?
No.
With that song? The polka song they played.
The beer barrel polka after the 7th inning stretch? No?
I'm not going to sing.
No,
So
but what song
I can't give it to you without singing because I don't know what it's
you
called.
You don't know the name of it.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
It was the old polka song they used to always play in Montreal. And it made it feel like you were in a different country, which of course you were. Canada.
Right.
Our neighbors to the north.
Right. America's hat.
Not far from here. Got him. 5 straight strikeouts for Dinelson Lamet to open the game. Well then. That time it was the fastball. He elevated it against Perez. Now the catcher, Jet Bandy.
All sliders up to this point. This is the fastball. Up and out of the zone at 98. Boy, you know, you get that slider at 86, 87 with a good bite down, then you get the 98 fastball up. Good luck. Buena suerte. Are you thinking of Alouette, Jatu Alouette?
I am not. I know that one. Although I'm sure that was also part of the musical repertoire in Montreal. Hey, a ball in play. Shortstop Cordoba going out. He'll make the catch. 6 up, 6 down for Dinelson Lamet, including 5 strikeouts against the Brewers. Milwaukee Brewers. Top of the third inning, 1-0 thanks to Yangervis Solarte. And today we are participating in the Home Run Challenge. Every home run and strikeout in this game raises money for prostate cancer research. Since June 1st, $3.3 million have been raised in the challenge. You can make a pledge by going to homerunchallenge.org. Well, if it's home runs and strikeouts, the Padres are certainly doing their part here this afternoon. Yangervis Solarte hitting the Padres' 4th home run of this series already, and Dinelson Lamet striking out 5 of the first 6 men to come to the plate. 8-9-1 for the Padres against Chase Anderson here in the third. Alan Cordova, then Lamet, and Jose Perella. Cordova started at shortstop last night. He finished the game in left field, and he maybe had a play on what turned out to be Eric Thames' walk-off home run. There's the slow curveball from Anderson.
Yeah, I've said it before. It's a ball that could have been caught. Should it have been caught? You know what? He's not really a left fielder. Still getting used to the area out there. He kind of overran it a little bit.
Also played the first 8 games at shortstop. Arcia does it about as well as any young player right now. And he made a sparkling one last night. That's a pretty good job in the hole as well. And one away as one very young shortstop grounds out to another.
Oh, this kid just continues to impress. To his right, to his left, charging the baseball. Not only getting to it, but an accurate throw with a little oomph behind it as well. One swift move, throwing across his body. That is not an easy play, folks.
Nice job by Thames also on the back end. So 1 out, bases empty for Dinelson Lamet. 6 at bats so far, 4 strikeouts. And ahead of the count.
Hey, don't get hurt now. Be careful on that swing. You got to think right field here. You're not going to pull the guy.
For a young pitcher, it's his 5th major league start. How much preparation can he really put into coming up to the plate? I mean, the bunting obviously is something that could be important, but
it's secondary, right?
I would think you're focusing so much and preparing so much on getting ready to pitch to these guys that you can't really put all that much brain power towards the Chase Anderson scouting report.
The only thing I'm going to worry about when I went up to the plate was try to avoid the strikeout. I want to try to put the ball in play. Guy can bobble it. You can find a hole.
Strikeout number 3 for Chase Anderson. 2 down here in the top half of inning number 3. And the day after the Padres score 5 or more runs, get 50% off any regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. Just enter the promo code Padres5. Got 5 last night, and a rare loss for the Padres when they score that many runs. They're now 20-3 this year when they score at least 5. Jose Perella with 2 outs and the bases empty. Padre leadoff man flew out to deep center field his first time up. Curveball had him bailing out, but it missed. Average is down to 385 for Perella right now. Anderson making his 2nd start of the season against the Padres. And Jose lines that one out of play. Anderson did not factor into that decision last month at Petco. It was the game that the Padres won in extra innings. Pitched okay. 4 runs, 6 hits, and 5 1/3. Nothing spectacular, but as mentioned, he's really turned it up a notch his last 4 starts.
2-seamer in.
And Perella able to elevate it out to right field. Domingo Santana makes the play, and it's an uneventful top of the 3rd for Chase Anderson. 1-0 Padres.
event of the summer hits South Beach when baseball's biggest stars take the field for the Major League Baseball All-Star Game in Miami, July 11th, only on Fox.
The game won't be on South Beach, just to be clear about that.
That'd be interesting. Little Major League Baseball maybe over the line in South Beach, bring a little San Diego to Florida.
Sure. Roof is closing, and Andy Green is out talking to the plate umpire, Brian Onora. Each ballpark with a retractable roof has its own kind of set of rules in terms of when the roof can be closed.
Yeah, I thought it was going to have to be at the top of the inning.
It is closing. It's getting very, very dark in here.
You know what? Isn't that distracting to a hitter?
Maybe they're going to wait.
That's going to take a while.
No, they're not. They're just going to go for it. I guess is the hitter really looking all the way up, but it doesn't close quickly enough to do it, I think, during an at-bat, so they just kind of have to hit the button and let it go. 7-8-9 against Lamet here in the bottom of the third. Yangervis Solarte, leadoff homer in the second, has put the Padres in front. And look at that, Dinelson Lamet, after striking out the first 5, doing another thing not a lot of Padre guys have done. Keon Broxton, another big home run last night. And there it is. Andrew Kashner a couple of years ago against the Astros, opening the game with 5 straight. That's going to be out of play. And all of a sudden it's looking like nighttime in here.
Yeah.
You can see it with the shadows.
It seems like the mothership is coming over above us. Pretty soon ET's going to come down and try to find Elliott.
It's a unique venue. Broxton trying to punt his way aboard. That's a foul ball, so now 2-2. I mean, this is a guy who's got major home run power.
I was going to say, thank you very much, huh? Bunting?
And, yeah, but what I was going to say was he does strike out a lot. And so maybe leading off an inning here, he's just trying to do something to try and avoid the strikeout. He has K'd more than anybody else in the National League. And now he adds to that total 93 strikeouts for Keon Broxton and 6 for Dinelson Lamet. Here are the first 5.
It's worth another look. The slider was the pitch du jour early. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slider. 5th hitter, Hernan Perez. He got him with the fastball. And there's a slider down and in. Fastball up at 98.
Lamet in his last start struck out 6. That was in 5 innings against Kansas City. He's done it here in 2 1/3. Number 8 hitter Orlando Arcia. We've seen him show off the glove. 1 for 4 at the plate in last night's game. And no chance on that fastball from Lamet.
I mentioned in our pregame hit about this Milwaukee Brewer team, the home runs. With home runs come punch outs. There's swings and misses.
Home runs and strikeouts are both way up all around Major League Baseball. And Lamet right back in front, 0-2 on the number 8 hitter. Lamet just the 4th pitcher this season to start the game with 5 consecutive strikeouts in all of baseball. Chris Sale, Robbie Ray, and Scott Feldman, who we just saw with the Reds. Pretty good company. I mean, right off the chute, right in New York in his Major League debut, we said, "Oh, this guy, he can strike some people out."
Michael Conforto right out of the gate.
And Conforto was red hot at the moment. He kind of beat up on the Padres in that series, and Lamet shut him down very quickly. 0-2 to Arcia.
You know what's nice about the roof being closed? They can still leave the panels open. Out in right center field, left center field, still get that outside feel a little bit.
It makes it feel less stuffy. In the air, straightaway center field. Long run, Cordero. Franchi into the corner. Nope. And it's off the wall. Arcia is rounding second, heading for third. This is going to be an inside the park home run. Perella just getting to the baseball, and he crosses the plate. 1-1 game. Well, we always talk about this being a home run hitter's park. That's not generally what we're talking about.
Well, the angle got Franchi. As you watch this ball hit sharply, elevated slider. Now see the angle there? Ball hits, and then on its way, try catching up to that. Perella was in left field, didn't see him over there in the picture, and all of a sudden, Arcia can score easily. You know, I think with those angles out there, it's the responsibility of the corner outfielders to kind of back up just for that reason when your center fielder's going back.
We saw a little thing hurt the Padres last night. Miguel Diaz not covering first on a potential double play ball. That preceded the Broxton 3-run homer. We talked about the non-catch on the walk-off home run in left field. A catchable ball. Similar situation here. Should he have caught it? Probably not, but could he have? Absolutely. And then Jose Perella not really being in the vicinity to help maybe hold him to a triple. It's a young team. These kind of things are going to happen. And for a manager who demands perfection the way that Andy Green does, they're going to be frustrated. A little broken back grounder to first base. Myers will take care of Chase Anderson.
Well, it's a long way to go, and Cordero kind of shimmying back and forth a little bit, not really knowing where the wall is there. He felt the warning track, and then no one to be seen. Oh, there's Perella right there, backing up, and by that time it was too late. Actually, it was too late once that ball took that bounce. You can see that play developing right in front of us.
Yeah, Arcia was running hard all the way, and it was a stand-up inside the park home run. Last inside park home run for the Brewers was 2012. Nori Aoki. Leadoff hitter Sogard struck out his first time. The home run streak continues. All the runs in this series so far via the long ball, and Sogard squirts one through the other side. First single of the day for the Brewers.
You know, Eric Sogard looks a little bit like Mark Kotsay with glasses.
Like at the plate or on his face?
His face.
Smaller than Kotsay, no? I don't see it. Guy with a beard. Speaking of facial hair, by the way, are you growing a mustache?
Yeah, I got a little competition going with Ryan Buchter.
Oh, okay. Here's Eric Thames. 2 outs, runner on first. Brewers have tied it up on the inside the park home run. The rookie shortstop Orlando Arcia.
Yeah, we kind of got. I'll admit, I kind of got on Ryan Buchter's mustache. So he kind of got on me a little bit. So I was kind of wanting to play along.
Got it. You're going to show him what you can do.
I don't know how well I'm going to do it, but I'm going to give it the old college try.
Well, it's nice of you to play along. 1 ball and 1 strike to Thames. He struck out the first time against Lamet, who K'd 6 of the first 7 men to come to the plate. That's out to deep right center field. Renfroe looking up. It's gone. Another home run for Eric Thames. He has gone deep in 4 consecutive games.
You know, the slider has been the pitch of the day. That one just catches too much of the plate. If you look at all the strikeouts on the slider, down and in, getting ahead. This was a 1-1 slider. Wow. Just caught too much of the plate.
He becomes the first national leaguer to 20 home runs this year. Little things can lead to big things. Saw it last night and again here this afternoon. This guy, meanwhile, unbelievable. You know, after the hot April, he cooled off a little bit. We talked about that during last night's game. And I think around baseball, people started to go, okay, Eric Thames, that was cute. That was nice. The first month, nobody really knows anything about you. They don't know how to pitch you, but we've got you figured out. But he is hot again. Clement comes back and strikes out Santana at end the inning, his 7th. But the Brewers, thanks to 2 more home runs, have taken a 3-1 lead. It began with Andy Green talking to the plate umpire Brian O'Nora. It ended with him talking to the crew chief Paul Emmel, who's over at third base. And I don't think Andy loved the way the roof was closing sort of in the middle of an inning there as opposed to at the top of the inning. And I imagine the explanation he got was, hey, it takes about 20 minutes to close, so it's going to span multiple innings, at least potentially, as Franchi Cordero takes inside. And obviously it can impact the flight of the ball. It can also impact the vision of these outfielders. And for a guy like Franchi Cordero, who's played, what, 10 innings here, 9+ innings here in his entire life, not the easiest play out in center field on what turned out to be an inside the park home run for Arcia.
I just think it's common sense. Everything, if you're going to make a change to a ballpark as far as ground rules are concerned, it should be at the top of the inning. It gives everybody a fair advantage. You start the game at the top of the first with the visiting team when you're on the road, right? I think if there's a change, a visual change or whatever, it should start at the top, regardless if you think if it's advantage or not.
Now, for all we know, they did start it at the beginning of the inning, and we just didn't notice it. Again, it takes about 20 minutes to close. So who knows when they actually started it? You know, we weren't paying attention when they hit the button.
Well, get on that guy with the button.
He's right around the corner, you know.
Is he?
Yeah, the little room is right outside of the
I've got an earful for that guy.
All right, you go visit with him. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Franchi Cordero. He struck out against Chase Anderson his first time. Anderson pitching with a lead for the first time today. More patience by this guy, Franchi Cordero. I've been very, very impressed with that. Anderson in his last 4 starts a 0.33 ERA. Solarte homered against him leading off the second. And now in the 4th, Franchi Cordero trying to get something started for the Padres. More home runs. Mentioned it earlier, but last night the teams combined for 7, and they have already hit 3 more this afternoon. All 15 runs in this series so far coming via the long ball, including now an inside the Parker. That's the kind of place it is. No secret. Only the Twins' home field in Minneapolis has surrendered more home runs this season. Part of the deal when you come here. Everybody knows it. That one's hit pretty well out to right field, and a nice job by Cordero working a full count and eventually coming through with a single. That is the second Padre hit of the afternoon. And Franchy Cordero hoping to get a rally started here in the fourth as our Ram Trucks Tools of the Trade focuses on the guy coming up now, Will Myers.
3-run shot last night in the first inning. Look at the location. Garrett wanted it down and away, but it leaks middle in, and Will Myers goes off the sign above the batter's eye. Put a charge into that one to help the Padres drop a 4 spot in the first inning last night. Power to all fields, straight up the gut last night.
4 hits in 10 trips against Anderson. Cordero's got good speed. We've only seen him try to steal bases a couple of times, and unlikely he'll be going here with Myers at the plate and the team down by a pair of runs.
Oh, Will's hand slips off the bat there.
Yeah. That's 50 pitches now for Anderson. 17 of them have been delivered to Franchy Cordero. Talked about the 2 good at bats. 9 pitches his first time, 8 his second time. It's always impressive from a young guy. One ball and 1 strike to Will Myers. Back to Andy Green's conversation with the umpires about the roof. The ground rules for Miller Park state that the umpire crew chief shall notify the visiting club, which may challenge the closing of the roof if it feels that a competitive imbalance will arise. So I think that's what we saw Andy Green do. In such an event, it continues, the umpire crew chief shall make a final decision based on the merits of the challenge. That is very, very vague, and I think it basically says the umpire is allowed to be like, hey, sorry,
hang with them.
Close it. And that's what happened. It's Paul Emmel, the crew chief, who's at third base. It's a tough thing to legislate if you're an umpire, right? What are you supposed to say? It takes 20 minutes. They tell us the rain is coming. We're closing it. Sorry. And look, if Lamet had a 1-2-3 third inning, maybe if Franchy Cordero catches that ball, we're not talking about that.
Exactly.
Myers takes strike 3 on the outside corner. 1 out here in the top of the fourth.
Talk about Andy Green and Lamet. Fastball command being a key. Well, we just saw fastball command for Chase Anderson. Look at this glove of the catcher. Doesn't even move. Frames it, gets a call. 81. Really?
Anderson made his big league debut with the Diamondbacks in 2014. He made the leap from Double-A Mobile. His manager with the Bay Bears was Andy Green. I asked Andy this morning how he broke the news to Chase Anderson that he was going up to the show. And, you know, sometimes those minor league managers, they like to have fun with a guy, or they mess with him, you know, that kind of thing. And apparently there was no time for that. It was one of those situations where they needed to get him to the Diamondbacks, wherever they were. Andy said he's such a good guy. He's very close with his father. We talked about how he had lost his dad a couple of years before that. And Andy said he just gave him a hug, gave him the news, and sent him to the airport.
Yeah, some of these, I don't want to say tricks, but the way minor league managers go about telling their guy, it's kind of cruel in a way.
It is,
right?
Absolutely. I guess it kind of depends on the guy himself.
Yeah, you
right?
got to get to know the personality of the player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The guy's a real knucklehead. You know, you might want to have some fun with him. And there are knuckleheads in baseball.
You think?
There's knuckleheads in every industry. Think about your office. Not you. Just anybody. There's a knucklehead or two in your office.
I think there's one sitting to my left. Right now.
Orsillo's actually in Houston. He'll be back Monday, by the way, in Chicago for the series against the Cubs. Solarte homered his first time. That's the 1 for the Padres. Homers in back-to-back games for Jan Hervis. And now ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. What'd you see last time?
Well, Anderson wants it away. It is away, and credit Solarte for staying back enough on that one. It looked like a changeup. And sometimes a hitter will hit a good pitch, and you got to tip your cap to Solarte on that one.
8th of the year for Jan Hervis. Now 37 runs batted in.
So he tries to keep the ball away. It's a breaking ball here.
Out in front.
Or a changeup.
You mentioned the home run was on a changeup, and that has been a huge pitch for Anderson as of late. Take a look at the last couple of months for Jan Hervis. A little bit slower in May after the great April, and he's picked it back up here in the month of June. And by the way, very, very nice article today on foxsports.com by Sam Gardner talking about Jan Hervis this Father's Day weekend. And he made the point, and I think Andy Green brought it up as well in conversation about maybe no surprise that Solarte getting the bat going a little bit now that his daughters have joined him in San Diego after the school year back in Florida. And on this Father's Day weekend, certainly we recognize Jan Hervis and the kind of dad that he has been to his 3 daughters since his wife's passing at the end of last season. Mudcat, I still can't believe how good Jan Hervis Solarte was on the baseball field at the plate a season ago, and
it's unbelievable.
It's something I don't think many people could have done.
There's the way I look at it, there are certain players that obviously would take some time off, but to separate your life off the field and then do the job that he did on the field, it's just really a testament to what kind of guy he is. And this guy had to be eating him up on side, and it ate up everybody in that dugout, everybody in that clubhouse. Andy Green, I remember talking about it last year, how emotional he got. It just goes to show you that these guys are a family each and every day with one another, and it not only affects them, but affect their teammates as well.
And not just the way he was able to go out there and perform on the field, but the fact that he continued to be the bouncy Solarte that everybody knew, and sort of that big personality guy, and you could argue the heart and soul of the Padre clubhouse, going through all of that. I don't want to say in the background, because it wasn't. Incredible. Hard hit by Renfroe down the line. That is a fair ball. Cordero is on his way to third. Glenn Hoffman's going to wave him. There will not be a relay to the plate as the ball is dropped. Arcia couldn't get a handle on it, and a nice job on a hard hit ball by Hunter Renfroe to bring the Padres to within a run here in the 4th.
Off-speed pitch, way out in front of it. Catches it just enough to keep it fair. How close? Oh, yeah. And Glenn Hoffman's all over. And you know what? If he picks this right there cleanly, it's going to be a very close play at first base.
Goes as a double for Hunter Renfroe. And yeah, Arcia mentioned he's made the errors. Not that that is one, but it would have been close. Now Corey Spangenberg, he takes that curveball for a strike. 0-1. It's always nice to see a hitter like Hunter Renfroe do something like that. I think we always think about him just smashing a fastball.
That big 2-out knock.
Yeah,
gotta love it.
Spangenberg punched out by Anderson his first time up.
Well, the timing was perfect on the closing of the roof. We understand that it just started raining.
You know there's going to end up being a couple of birds stuck in here. Happens every time.
Yeah. They should find their way over through the panels, though. Huh? It's kind of tough, though. They get confused.
Yeah, they do. Ball and a strike to Spangenberg. Now 1-2. It's like we're outdoors, but we're not.
Right.
And if you're a bird.
Have you ever had a bird stuck in your garage? It's very frustrating because you want to help a little guy so much.
Yeah.
And you want to direct him out, you know, so he can be free again. Banging into the water heater. You want him to be free.
You get a lot of birds in the garage out in
Not really,
Alpine.
but we've had it before.
Get snakes, I bet. Pickoff play at second, and it's going to trickle away. Renfroe is on his way to third base. Arcia does not make the throw, probably the wise move there. And the Brewers, who committed 3 errors in last night's game, have another ugly moment defensively here this afternoon.
Yeah, that's, dating back to last night's game, that's the frustrating thing. 3 errors last night, and the Padres really couldn't take advantage, but here's one. Okay, Hunter doesn't recognize yet. Sees the ball. He's off and running.
But you got a veteran third baseman, by the way, Shaw, or at least a more veteran third baseman, saying to Arcia, no, knowing that he's a young guy, the shortstop, wants to probably make that play. It's a good job of kind of taking control of the situation. They give the error, by the way, to Arcia, the shortstop. We say it all the time with the Padre guys. That kind of thing is going to happen with a young team. As you said earlier, Anderson working from the first base side of the rubber against the left-handed batter. And twice now he steps off. Doesn't look like he's going back to the windup here with a runner on third.
No wild pitches this year from Chase Anderson.
Would you go back to the windup in this situation?
Personally, no, because I would be afraid that I'd balk. I just wanted to keep it simple. If that runner started to dart home, I mean, obviously 2 outs, he wants to try to drive him in, but I just wanted to keep it simple, the easy step back off. I've got too much on my mind thinking about if I've got both feet on the rubber and, okay, do I step back with my right foot or my left foot? With my left foot, that starts my delivery. And if I step up with my left, see, I'm confusing everybody already, so it's a balk. So just go from the stretch.
Vandenberg chases the high fastball. 5th strikeout of the day for Anderson, but the Padres get one back. Hunter Renfroe, an RBI double.
His 4th inning of work here at Miller Park. A little bit of an injury update for you, and good news and more good news. First of all, Manny Margot out on the field today running full speed through all the bases. He's been able to do every single baseball activity now. He is ready to go on some kind of a trip to the minor leagues to get some work in. He's expecting to take no more than 2 or 3 games, and he should be back in action. So he is close to being ready to join the Padres again. On the pitching front, Trevor Cahill, they're trying to decide whether he should throw a 3-inning simulated game or actually go down to the minor leagues for an assignment for to get 3 innings of work. They'll wait and see. That's to be decided in the next couple of days. And then finally, Jared Weaver, all systems are still go for him. He will throw on Thursday against Albuquerque. Not the easiest place to pitch, but he's anxious to get back on the mound. He'll probably throw a bullpen on Monday, leave on Wednesday to get ready for that Thursday outing. So good news on all fronts, guys.
All right, Bob, I think I've got the full medical report now, and that sounds like a lot of good news, particularly Manuel Margot. That's very, very exciting for the Padres that he could be nearing his return Shaw hits this one in the air, straightaway right. Hunter Renfroe. And one down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. I'm sure, Mark, a lot of people are hearing Bob there and going, oh, Margot soon. What are the Padres going to do in the outfield? Because Cordero's been very good in center. We've enjoyed, obviously, watching him hit as well. I think if you asked Andy Green that question, he'd say these things tend to have a way to take care of themselves, but there could definitely and probably will be some shuffling when Manuel Margot returns.
Absolutely, and going to have to wait and see. Let's worry about that when we get to that point. Something can happen with the pitching staff. You know, you have one less arm in the bullpen possibly to carry another outfielder. So many things can happen.
Hernan Perez now against Nelson Lamet. 1-run game here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2nd of 3 between the Padres and the Brewers. Nelson Lamet, 7 strikeouts so far. Perez was his 5th victim. That was back in the 2nd, and with the high strikeout total, still now just 50 pitches for Lamet. Perez hits it well out to left field. Perella's got a long way to go to get to it, but Perez is going to be content with a single. And a 1-out base runner for the Brewers here in the bottom of the 4th.
MLB.TV every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Catcher Jet Bandy up for the 2nd time today. He popped up to Alan Cordoba back in the 2nd inning. He was the first Brewer to put the ball in play against Lamet. Padres starter struck out the first 5 before Bandy popped out. 2 perfect innings to start, then a couple of homers in the 3rd. And now a 1-out single here in the 4th. Fastball strike to Bandy. It is Jet, J-E-T-T. It's a combo job. His dad is John. His grandfather, Chet. You put them together, it equals Jet.
Jet the Jet Walker, former Chicago Bull.
Sure.
First thing that comes to mind for me.
Okay.
And Jet, Paul McCartney and Wings, great song, Jet. Woo. I like it. He's grounded into 4 double plays this year.
He is a catcher.
Got a game break coming up. Cincinnati Redlegs, Dodgers visiting from the state of Ohio.
Not too far from here. I think that's the first time today we've seen Lamet throw over to first base. With all these young pitchers, stuff like that is such a work in progress, right? You talk
Holding
to Darren
runners,
Balsley,
yeah.
and those sort of finer points of pitching. They're things that you really don't work on that much, particularly in the low minor leagues, because guys are really just learning how to pitch. And so controlling the running game, we saw it last year, especially with Luis Perdomo. It can be a challenge at times. Just missing there.
Varying your times.
Met would love to turn 2 here. Bandy goes after that one. Hedges throw down will be backed up very nicely by Alan Cordoba. He just saved 90 feet.
I'm even surprised Austin threw that ball.
Now you talk about the little things and some of them not being done by the Padres, but Cordoba backing up there, that is a big little thing.
I mean, as we look at this play, I think even if it's a perfect throw, he's not going to get him. Nice job backing up.
So Bandy becomes strikeout victim number 8. Perez now at second after the wild pitch, and 2 away for Keon Broxton. Broxton struck out his first time, National League leading 93rd K of the year, but he's on one of his hot swings right now. Had the 3-run homer in last night's game, and Craig Counsell talks openly about it. He's very streaky right now. It's a good streak, but even during a good streak, he is going to K. Part of who he is at this point. And you look around baseball now, Mark, hitters, particularly guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark, they seem to be less worried about striking out than perhaps any other time in modern baseball history.
I say it all the time, and I think you'd agree with me. If you're going to have a guy that's going to hit close to 40 home runs, I'll take those 180 punch outs a year if he's going to do just that. Good fastball, 96 down the middle, and can't catch up to it. Not good with runners in scoring position. And I would be very surprised if he doesn't throw him another slider right here. But it's got to be out of the zone.
Broxton, like the Brewers starter today. Chase Anderson was drafted by the Diamondbacks. Same year, in fact. 3rd-round pick in 2009. Anderson went in the 9th round that year. Traded a couple of times since then, including here to Milwaukee. Stays alive. Still a ball and 2 strikes with Hernan Perez at second base and 2 down. The exciting young shortstop would be next. Lamet trying to finish off Broxton, and with him, the bottom of the 4th. Got him. Perfect pitch. Number 9 for Dinelson Lamet. That is a new career high. Man left in scoring position for the Brewers. They lead by 1 as we go to the 5th inning. Back to work against the bottom of the Padre order here in the 5th inning. Padres trailing by 1. Austin Hedges leading off, and the Padre catcher takes strike 1. He flew out to left field his first time, and talk about the home runs. We've seen Thames hit his 20th here this afternoon. First guy in the National League to get to that mark. Votto, Zimmerman, Bellinger all at 19 now. And Bellinger spotted those guys 3 weeks. He didn't come up until late April.
And I'm with those guys. as far as Bellinger for an all-star bid. I don't care if a kid gets called up June 1st. If he hits and goes off like that, I think it's great for baseball, like Mark Sweeney said, especially being a youngster like that. People want to see a guy like that in a venue in Miami for an all-star game. No doubt about it.
Austin Hedges could have a few all-star games under his belt. By the time all is said and done, he is already garnering attention from within baseball as an elite defensive guy, and obviously the power numbers are there as well. More home runs as a catcher than anybody in baseball this year, 11.
This always scares me because you look at fingers, wrists, elbows. Yeah.
Hand surgery last year limited to him 82 games at AAA El Paso. Floats high, 2-2, and that hamate bone removed.
I think every player drafted should have their hamate bone removed, their Tommy John surgery taken care of, their spleen taken out, their tonsils taken out.
What about the appendix?
In the appendix.
All the useless things. Little chopper to the right side. Anderson's going to have to get over there and cover. Thames' throw is a good one. And Hedges retired. Time now for the Unlimited Baseball Break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Didi Gregorius, a 17-game hitting streak, the longest active in all of baseball for the Yankees. And Andrew Kashner back to the disabled list as another former Padre, Ernesto Frieri, has his contract selected by the Rangers.
Two former Padres. Ivan Nova, former Padre.
They're sprinkled all over the place.
Yeah.
Now, best wishes to Andrew Kashner. Has not been able to stay healthy. I saw Tyson Ross was just activated by Texas, I think, yesterday. Cordova first pitch swinging. Liner to center. Broxton is there, 2 away. A little more routine for Keon Broxton this afternoon in center field. Had the tough moment in the first inning yesterday. Had a really tough moment against Seattle. Excuse me, St. Louis the day before.
Did he just dab? He did it twice.
Are you offended, old baseball man?
Is that what did you just call me?
Old baseball man.
Get off my lawn.
Don't rip off his jersey.
You know what? Seriously, yeah. I don't like the idea of this. I don't mind. A little dab going. Oh yeah.
He's got a thing going with his
ripping
teammate.
off the jersey. No, this just means personally.
You're not speaking for anybody but yourself.
I just respect the uniform too much more to rip it off like that.
The piece of laundry or what it represents. Are you saying you feel bad for like the equipment guy that has to go in there and repair
it? No,
just
the baseball in general. You don't do that. I mean, it's an honor to wear that uniform. I just don't like it. I'm sorry. That's just one man's opinion.
Eric Thames was not expecting it. He didn't seem to have a problem with it when all was said and done. No balls and 2 strikes to Lamet, who struck out his first time. What would you prefer when a guy crosses?
Whatever happened to the good old-fashioned handshake? I want to see a team go to that rather than all the dances and stuff like that and the handshakes. How much is a good old-fashioned crossing home plate and extending your hand like a man and giving the old handshake?
The Continental.
Yeah, why not?
That's what it's called. Lamet strikes out for a second time. That's 6 for Anderson. 1-run game in the 5th. team enjoyed an off day here in Milwaukee before this series began, and they've got this artist in residence at the team hotel, and she's a photographer, and so a couple of the Padres stepped in to have their portraits taken. Very artistic. Matt Caesar, who himself is a bit of an artist. He does some great paintings.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. Chase Darno also got in on the act and had his portrait taken.
I like the black and white type.
It's very
look.
artistic.
Yeah, it is.
It's very nice. It's very classy looking. And so, you know, you and I don't necessarily think we're a big enough deal to go in there and have our portraits professionally taken, but, you know, we can do it ourselves.
Hey, you know what? We're doing games together. We're friends, and we're not really the artistic type, but
I think that's pretty artistic.
Yeah.
I think there's something very arty about that.
See, a good old-fashioned handshake.
The Continental.
Is that what that's called?
That's what it's called. The different handshakes have different names.
Oh.
You can look it up.
I believe you.
You should.
You went to the U.
Yeah, it's not where I learned that.
It's all about the U. Yeah. I think that's a great picture, though.
Yeah, I think we did a nice job.
Yeah. Very artistic.
Very artistic. Number 8 hitter Arcia leading off against Dinelson Lamet. He's got a career high 9 strikeouts here at his 5th major league start.
Should we give that photo to that woman in the
Let her
gallery
hang it up in the
and have
gallery?
Her hang it up.
I mean, Caesar and Darno, like, it looks great. It's a really cool picture, so we wanted to get in on it, but we tried to do it ourselves. 0-2 to Orlando Arcia, who hit an inside the park home run his last time up. Robin Yount had something to do with the way this ballpark was designed. And one of the things he wanted was a space for triples. This is, I guess, what he had in mind.
Yeah, the bounce, and you know, the triple is one of the most exciting plays in baseball, but how about the Little League home run? Everybody was up on their feet. Place got very loud.
That was the first of what would end up being 2 homers in the inning for Milwaukee. Back in the 3rd, 2-run shot by, of course, Eric Thames put them in front. After Arcia tied the game at 1. Now Lamet trying to strike him out, and he does. Double-digit strikeouts for the first time in his career. Lamet with number 10, and it's only the 5th inning.
Boy, he has got that slider working, and once again, command of the fastball early, even breaking stuff early, and then putting him away with the breaking ball. You'll get those 6 swings like that. Terrible looking hack.
Pitcher now, Chase Anderson, and Bob Scanlon, before the game, you and I were both listening to what Andy Green said he wanted to see from Dinelson Lamet in terms of repertoire and pitch selection and location. He certainly seems to be following the prescription here, huh?
No question about it, Jesse. And specifically what Andy was talking about is he didn't want to see a whole lot of the 2-seam fastballs. He felt like it was too close to the changeup. He wanted to see Lamet come out today throwing that 96 to 97, 98 mile-an-hour fastball and challenging guys in the zone to set up that slider, and that is exactly what we've seen today. The Brewers just overmatched with the fastball for the most part, and that slider right there, no chance.
11 strikeouts now for Dinelson Lamet. Previous career high was 8, and the pitch count very economical. That was just number 67. Been fun to watch him work today, and another young Padre putting his imprint on this 2017 season. 2 outs, bases empty for Eric Sogard. Leadoff man for the Brewers has struck out, as has everybody else now in the starting lineup. If you can believe it, Anderson, the pitcher, was the last guy who had not struck out. But now 1 through 9 have all K'd against Lamet so far this afternoon. Pretty impressive.
And falling behind just like that there. Now that was 91. That looked like kind of tough to tell what exactly that was, but it had some movement. Sogard was out in front of it. But my point is 1-0, something off speed. Swing and miss for the strike.
You didn't know what it was, and I don't think that Eric Sogard did either. Top of the zone, strike 2. So now 3rd time through the lineup, right, with Sogard, and that's, as a starting pitcher, you're trying to go deep into games. You're going to have to show it a little bit differently, right?
It might have been a changeup. He does throw a changeup.
Hedges sets a low target. Now 2-2. Tried to check his swing. They're going to go to third. Ooh. Paul Emmel says he did not offer. Lamet trying to strike out the side here in the fifth.
Looks like another changeup.
Go through a couple of signs. Now the 3-2 pitch. And a check swing foul back. Sogard struck out to open the game. Singled and scored on the homer in the third. And he's up there battling against Dinelson Lamet here in the fifth.
Do not throw him an off-speed pitch for a strike. It's got to be out of the zone. Speed up his bat like that changeup. He hit foul. He can do some damage.
And the way Thames is swinging the bat, you'd love for him to come up next inning with the bases empty. That'll be the case. Lamet strikes out the side. That is a dozen strikeouts for the Padre rookie. Sogard wasn't happy about it. He gets an earful from the plate umpire Brian Onora on his way back to the dugout. It started off with Orlando Arcia at the plate, and Elson Lamet took care of him. The young shortstop could not contend. Neither could Chase Anderson. Neither could Eric Sogard. Lamet with numbers 10, 11, and 12. Home runs. Yangervis Solarte gets the scoring started with a lead shot in the second, then an inside the park home run for Orlando Arcia in the third. And just what, 3 batters later, Eric Thames with an outside the park home run, a 2-run shot. That gave Milwaukee a 3-1 lead. Padres would add one on a Hunter Renfroe RBI double with 2 outs in the fourth. And now as we open up the 6th inning with the top of the Padre batting order, it is a 1-run game. Jose Pirela ground ball to third, handled by Shaw. And one away for Chase Anderson.
prior to this game for the Brewers, 27 runs, 10 home runs during that 4-game winning streak. The home run has been the theme, but also the strikeouts. Mentioned that earlier, and Lamet is doing a fine job. He just finds himself 1 run down here.
Dame's the difference last night and the difference so far this afternoon. Franchi Cordero takes strike 1 from Chase Anderson. Came home on that double by Renfroe in the 4th. The only run in this series so far that has not come home via the long ball. Two away now. And Will Myers going to come to the plate.
Okay, you know, enough of the dab, really. Seriously.
Now you're over it?
Yeah, no.
Why you got to be so cranky?
It's
Why was it okay last inning and not now?
Did I say it was okay?
You did.
I did?
Yeah, you were all about it.
Maybe
you actually started dabbing in the booth.
Not a fan.
Let me see your dab again.
No. Not going to dab. Dabless Milwaukee.
It's a harmless thing he does with his teammate.
How about just like a fist pump or a thumbs up? That a way to go, buddy.
Well, it's hard to shake hands or fist bump from like 200
No, just
feet
like
away.
show a guy, you know, like across the room. Hey, yeah, what's up, man?
Yo.
Way to go.
Got it. Old baseball man, Mark Grant.
Would you have your handshake?
What do you mean?
Would you have your own personal handshake, like after you did something well?
Yeah, of course.
What would it be?
I don't know. I'd come up with something. I'd have to, you know what I would do? I would have to go to a teammate who's more creative than I. I'm not good at that kind of. You're good at that kind of stuff.
What stuff?
You could come up with something goofy.
No.
Myers on 3-0 to deep left center field. That is gonna tie the game. Like Solarte, Myers goes deep for a 2nd consecutive game. 3-3 here in the 6th. Another homer.
Green light means go, right?
Yes.
You know, you're sitting there waiting. It's a red light. 3-0 count. And 90 down the middle. 89. Was that a changeup? Slider? Something off speed. Oh, and he connects. Perfect swing on a mistake.
Solarte, little cue shot. And how about Jan Hammersbach? He was running out that ground ball. I think he saw the funky English and thought it might roll back into fair territory.
I've seen balls do that before.
Yeah. I mean, it was 3, 4, 5 feet foul, but he was not taking any chances.
And did you see Shaw? He got to it quickly and swatted it foul. Touched it while in foul territory.
After all that, it is a foul ball. Mentioned it again. In his last 4 starts, Anderson had allowed 1 earned run. Padres have gotten him for 3 here this afternoon, including homers by Myers and this guy. He's got good handshakes. He's got the kind of personality and creativity to come up with that stuff.
I love his energy.
I'm glad you like it, old baseball man. Another ground ball foul. This time he pulls it.
Old baseball man, huh?
You don't want these kids dabbing in the outfield, ripping their jerseys off, celebrating after home runs. I will not stand
for that. I will not stand for the ripping off of the jerseys.
I go harmless on that. Another foul ball from Solarte. You know when things started to change, I think? I would go back to about 1999 and Mark Sweeney's Cincinnati Reds. They were the first team that I remember that did the bounce around thing at home plate after a walk-off homer. And then that sort of just became the standard. And Mark Sweeney was right in the midst of all of that. So you can blame him for all this stuff you don't like, old baseball man. Solarte to center field, and Broxton is there. But the Padres tie it up. Will Myers going to go deep right here for the 14th time this season. This game is 3-3 in the middle of the 6th. Junior star of the game. This is quite obvious so far. 12 strikeouts for Dinelson Lamet here in his 5th major league start, and he has been absolutely stellar. You see in sliders, swung on and missed, fastballs that guys can't catch up with, and he is putting in what I think so far is his most complete start of his major league career. And there you go, most strikeouts by a pitcher in Padre history. I mean, he's got 12. And it's the 6th inning, and he's under 80 pitches.
Well, the thing that's impressed me is the adjustment we talked about prior to the game start. And the last 2 times out, 8 innings pitched combined, 14 earned runs. You talk about an adjustment, and that's against a team that's in first place in the NL Central and hitting some home runs and scoring some runs, that being the Milwaukee Brewers. So it's not like he's had 2 bad outings and he's pitching against the last place team at their home ballpark to boot.
Which is, as we saw earlier, the ballpark that has allowed the 2nd most home runs in baseball this season. Now 2-2 to Eric Thames. As we take a look at the Arco top tier player profile, Eric Thames has now homered in 4 consecutive games for the 2nd time this year. Back in April, he set the franchise record for Milwaukee, homers in 5 straight games, or he tied the record, done by Jeremy Burnett. And tomorrow they'll be looking to tie it again. This one is skied into right center field. And a nice job by Franchi Cordero, kind of taking control of that situation, making the catch. And Lamet gets his man. You okay with that fist bump?
Fist bump is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keon Broxton, the Milwaukee center fielder, he's got a little thing he does with his left fielder and up here as he dabs after making the play. Just the 2 of them. He's not trying to draw any attention to himself, and you didn't like that, so I wanted to know how you felt about the fist bump.
What's the origin of that?
The dab? I don't know. I'm not young or cool. Fastball strike. I do feel like, though, and here's the, I'm not going to say it's a shot at Keon Broxton, but the one thing I'll say is it's a couple years old already. Like, I feel like we're on to the next thing. The dab is
so
old news.
2015.
Yeah, it's not the Macarena necessarily, but it's not fresh. 95, swung on and missed.
I say go like electric slide or something.
It's a little complex, no? A lot of moving parts.
So 90s, too.
Very 90s. Just reaching out. And Lamet had to kind of wait on it. He throws a fastball that Myers cannot hold on to.
Here's why I cringe at plays like that. I've seen first basemen just get their wrist totally knocked out of whack. You've got the runner going down the line. Now, is he inside the, you know what? He was inside the lane, I think. I think he was, nobody's saying anything? Watch the runner. Is he inside the lane?
Is the throw impacted by that, though?
Oh, it doesn't hit the runner. I thought it may have hit the runner.
Little things.
Good call.
Myers unable to hold on to that throw.
Now, if it were to hit the runner, then they could have banged him.
Here's Travis Shaw. Takes a fastball strike from Lamet. Certainly not losing any velocity here in the middle innings.
Great hustle by Santana on that.
Well, he knew it was a little bit of a cue shot and that he was going to have a chance. Could smell the hit. Nice stop by Hedges. It's the 1,234th time we've said that this season.
Yeah. We get used to seeing it all the time.
Lamet in the minors was a starter, so it's a little bit of a different situation than Diaz yesterday. Miguel was on a bit of a pitch count because he had been working in relief this year. But Lamet has thrown at least 84 pitches in all 5 starts now. Here's a ground ball to second base. Solarte kind of had to wait on it. They get 1 at second. Do they get 2? They do. A double play. Big couple of outs. And on a very slowly hit ball, Yangervis Solarte gets it done. We'll wait and see if the Brewers want to challenge the play at first base, but a nice job by Solarte and Cordoba and Myers. Craig Counsell will not challenge, and that will be the end of inning number 6. 4-6-3. The score is tied. Your San Diego County Lexus dealers, who invite you to test drive a Lexus today. And by Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proud partner of the San Diego Padres. Boy, for the 2nd consecutive game, a runaway in the sausage race. And the Polish picks up his 13th win of the year. He is now 1 behind the hot dog for the season lead.
Yeah, Polish, hot dog, chorizo, Italian, brought in that order. You know, the Polish may have won today, but they're all wieners to us.
And you just dabbed.
No, I did not. You know, I ran in that race.
You ran in the race?
I was the brat one year.
You fit in the thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, easy there. Yes, it was fun.
Both starters still working here. Lamet finishes the 6th with a double play to work around the Myers error. And now Anderson starting the 7th with Renfroe, Spangenberg, Hedges coming up. Who's your favorite? And I don't mean in the race, I mean in terms of eating.
Oh, the brat.
You're a brat guy.
Love bratwurst.
Mustard, sauerkraut, what do you do?
I go mustard. He got hit by a bitch. Wow, that's got to hurt. Hey, base runners. Mucho base runners here.
Top of the hand, never what you want to see. And he's kind of shaking at it. Take another look.
Ooh. Just skid right wrist. Right forearm.
Yeah, right underneath the wrist almost.
Yeah.
So Renfroe at first. He had the RBI double his last time, and now Corey Spangenberg, who has struck out both times up today. Swings away. Thames with a backhand to second. That's one. On to first. Not in time. Spangenberg obviously runs very, very well. Good job by the pitcher Anderson getting over there to cover. And obviously will now wait and see if Craig Counsell wants to challenge this one.
Well, we know that Spangenberg can scoot down that line. Let's go to Thames here. Fires a strike to second base. I think he's safe.
Yep. No question. And the Brewers will not be challenging this one. Great batting stance, Craig Counsell.
Still looks like he's in his first year in the big leagues as a player. Hasn't aged a bit.
He's not worried about dabbing. He's not an old baseball man.
Oh, he's old school guy. That's a guy who would not rip off a jersey.
Played a couple of big roles in Game 7 of the World Series. Marlins in '97, Diamondbacks in 2001. Very nice career. And in his second full season as manager here in Milwaukee. Runner on first, one out for Hedges. Check on Spangenberg. Corey's got 3 steals this year. Hedges down the right field line. Domingo Santana is there. And that's the second out here in the top of the 7th inning.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
2 outs and a runner on first for the number 8 hitter, Alan Cordoba. Anderson at 93 pitches. Mentioned earlier, he has gotten to 100 pitches at least in each of his last 4 starts. The only 4 starts of the year in which he has hit triple digits on the pitch count. Quick move. Pretty good lead for Spangenberg.
I say you got to go if you get a jump, huh?
Pitcher spot is next. So you would open up first base, but of course the Padres would be comfortable pinch hitting for Lamet here. And in fact, Matt Caesar is on the on deck circle. not running. And ball 1 to Córdoba. Kirby Yates heating up. Saw him in last night's game, and certainly nice for the Padres to get Lamet through 6 innings today. Stammen, Maton, Hand, Yates, and Buchter were all used in last night's 10-inning loss. Ball and no strikes to Córdoba. Again, Spangenberg not running, and this time they get the call with the slider, 1-1. Anderson came into the day with a 1.69 ERA here at Miller Park. In the air, shallow left center field. Broxton will not get there. Spangenberg's going to make it to third base easily. And the Padres, with 2 outs, have runners on the corners here in a tie game in the top of the 7th. And this offensive opportunity is going to end a brilliant outing by Dinelson Lamet.
Well, tip your cap to that gentleman right there. Dinelson Lamet today, there's his line, 86 pitch effort. Of the 25 Brewers he faced today, 22 of 25 had 5 pitches or fewer.
Wow.
That's getting ahead and putting him on the defensive.
More strikeouts than any other Padre pitcher has had in a game this year, and he did not walk anybody. 5th major league start. So an opportunity here for Caesar to try and put the Padres in front. Takes the curveball for a strike.
And Jesse, that's an adjustment. We talked about adjustments for Lamet, right? The last 2 starts as compared to this afternoon. Progress.
See the numbers for Caesar as a Cub and a Padre. Pinch hit in the 7th inning in last night's game, ended up striking out. And handshakes, very formal, firm, understated handshakes for Dinelson Lamet. One ball and 1 strike to Caesar.
If I were a betting man, Chase Anderson's going to try to keep the ball away from Caesar, give him right center field, give him right field. The outfield is swung that way a little bit. Breaking balls away. Does not want to leave anything middle, and something can jerk out of the ballpark. Do some damage with it, just a guess.
Spangenberg at 3rd, Córdoba at 1st. And now 2 balls and a strike.
Thank you. It was a good pitch.
Yes, it was.
Make it hurt. Changes the complexion of the whole at bat. Rather than 1-2, 2-1.
Greg Maddux used to always say 1-1 pitch was like his big one in the at bat. Numbers back it up too.
Oh, absolutely.
Difference between 2-1 and 1-2 is everything. That one broke the Padres' way. We'll see if Caesar can take advantage. Anderson getting ready to throw his 100th pitch of the day. Look out.
Well, it's a final in Toronto. The White Sox beat the Blue Jays 5-2. Minnesota losing to the Indians 9-3 in the Twin Cities. Baltimore tripled up on the Cardinals 12-4 in Baltimore. Other scores later.
I look forward to that. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Caesar. Anderson has slowed it down, and Caesar going to make him continue to work there, spoiling that fastball up in the zone.
See that fastball up and away there?
Nice job for Caesar in these situations so far in limited time. Reaching for it in the air center field. Broxton has judged it a bit, but he's going to be able to recover, go back, and make the play. No runs, a hit, and 2 left for the Padres. It is stretch time at Miller Park. Tomorrow on Inside San Diego Sports, we take a trip down memory lane with the Hoffman brothers, Tony Gwynn Jr. and Mark Sweeney, as they share their most memorable moments of their fathers. That is tomorrow after Padres Live on Father's Day here on Fox Sports San Diego. There's Tony next door in the radio booth working with Ted Leitner. A little chilly in here. He's got the fleece on. When they turn this AC up and the roof closes, temperature drops a bit. It's very, very cool.
And that's a good egg right there, Tony Gwynn Jr. It's a pleasure to be around him, hear him chuckle, tell some baseball stories. It's all good.
Kirby Yates came on in the 8th inning last night, gave up the home run to Manny Pena that tied the game, but then bounced back with strikeouts of Broxton and Brinson. He's got Perez, Bandy, and Broxton here scheduled to hit in the 7th inning.
Well, it's all about bouncing back for relievers. You got to have a short memory after the home run given up last night by Kirby. Get right back out there, throw up a 0.
Gets him to chase that fastball, 0-2. See, Perez singled in the 4th. He struck out in the 2nd, and again, it's worth mentioning to Nelson Lamet, 12 strikeouts today, more than any other pitcher has had this season for the Padres. Obviously a career high, and he got all 9 guys at least once. Yates trying to get Perez, and he does. Elevated fastball at 95, and that's what Kirby Yates was able to do last night against Broxton and Brinson after the slider was hit out of the yard by Manny Pena. Well, not too far from here, just about 45 minutes away, the 117th U.S. Open Championship, and Justin Thomas, a 9-under Saturday. Big Eagle late in his round, and all of a sudden he is the leader, though those other guys are still out on the course. And the final round tomorrow on Fox. That's some high drama at the U.S. Open.
That's the amazing thing. Golfers amaze me because, you know, you chili dip one shot and you're pretty much done.
You got the terminology down, huh?
You know, you skull one and you're done.
It's it. It's over.
Right.
Good night, Irene.
They're so good.
You swing it much?
No.
When you played?
A little bit. More when I played, yes.
Pitchers love their golf, huh?
Pitchers, yeah. I would say the majority of pitchers go out more than position players.
Now ball and 2 strikes to Jet Bandy.
How about you?
Nope, not at all.
Have you ever golfed?
I have, but never really made a thing out of it.
It's very frustrating, and
I don't have the temperament.
I think it's too long too. I think golf should be like 11 holes.
Why 11?
Because after 11, I'm ready to go.
That's when
back
you're
it
done.
in.
That's your attention span.
Right.
Is
Yeah,
11
exactly.
holes.
Yeah.
So how many strokes is that in 11 holes for you?
I'm
150.
about an 18 handicap, so maybe a stroke a hole.
2 balls and 2 strikes now.
My best round ever is an 85 at the Phoenician. This was years ago.
In 18 holes?
18. Yes, 18.
That's great.
It's my best round.
Oh, that's very good.
Usually around 90.
That's highly respectable. You're sitting here talking about how you're not much of a golfer. That's very respectable.
About a 95, 96. Consistently, if I were to go out.
I think if I could do that, I would enjoy it. Stay in the double digits. Probably wouldn't fare too well up at Erin Hills as Bandy swings and misses. Back-to-back strikeouts for Kirby Yates. 12 for Lamet, and now 14 strikeouts for Brewer batters here this afternoon. Or, if you prefer, beer batters.
Looks like he got him with the changeup. Great movement down and in at 87. Tied him up.
Yates 2 strikeouts in his appearance last night. Gets the first 2 men this afternoon. And now Keon Broxton, the National League strikeout leader. Guess what he's done today? Struck out twice as he takes a fastball, 0-1. It's 1 strikeout for every dab.
Ah.
Held off that time. 1 ball and 1 strike. A lot of blue out there today on this Father's Day weekend.
You know, though, you see the golf giveaway, golf umbrella tomorrow, June 18th. I will take an umbrella, though.
You think they'll bring one by for you?
Sure. I know some people here. Umbrella, very underrated accessory.
Even in San Diego?
Sure, why not? You should always have one in the trunk of your car.
You're such a Boy Scout. Always prepared. Ball and 2 strikes to Broxton.
Yes.
And he is struck out for the 3rd time this afternoon. How about Kirby Yates? After Dinelson Lamet struck out 12 in 6 innings. Kirby Yates comes out in the 7th. He gets Perez. He gets Bandy. And to end the inning, he gets Keon Broxton. discussing a 5th consecutive Brewer win or a Padre victory. Jared Hughes, last night's winning pitcher, on for the 31st time this season. He worked a 1-2-3 10th inning, and 2 pitches into the bottom of the inning, Eric Thames got him a victory. Top of the order for the Padres here in a tie game in the top of the 8th, and Hughes delivers strike 1 to Jose Perella.
Kind of throws across his body a little bit, always working from the stretch. Hughes. It was the 4-seamer, the 2-seamer, and slider.
Perella up there looking for his first hit of the series, and now 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, no matter how this thing ends up shaking out for the Padres, obviously the day that Dinelson Lamet had is a big deal and a nice step forward for him in his development. And the 12 strikeouts today, the most by any rookie this season. Amir Garrett of the Reds also did it against Baltimore back in April. And to be able to come out there and strike out that many guys and throw that few pitches in just your 5th big league start is a really nice afternoon's worth of work. Keon Broxton into the left center field gap. He makes that catch. Perella flies out. He's 0 for the day. And it's time now for our Fan Diego fans of the game. Fans of the game. We got some Padre Brown. He's about to find out he's on television, I think.
Yeah, it just goes to show you, you know, Brewer fans, Padre fans, you can coexist.
Sure.
Enjoy a big league ball game. Tell some stories. Talk about Wisconsin and talk about the West Coast. And the beauty of both.
1 out for Franchi Cordero. Hard hit, but pretty much right at Arcia. And 2 away.
That ball was smoked.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do there, kid. Keep hacking. Don't change a thing.
Looking back at the replay on the big board here at Miller Park. It happens. So Will Myers coming up. This game is all tied up. And the reason why is that his home run back in the 6th inning made it a 3-3 game. Two outs and the base is empty. And this is it. Last time up for Will Myers. Big time.
2-out Thunder. Nice easy swing. Big kid. Strong like bull.
3-run homer in the first last night. And now number 14 here in the 6th inning today. Padre leader is Hunter Renfroe. He's got 15. Steps back from that fastball, and Hughes is behind him. 2 balls and no strikes. Myers was the first guy to face Hughes. Grounded out against him in the 10th last night. 3-0, by the way, the count. .3-0 was the count on the home run, and it'll be the count on the walk here with 2 outs in the 8th.
This Father's Day, join Major League Baseball and the Prostate Cancer Foundation in the fight against prostate cancer by supporting the Home Run Challenge. Log on to MLBcommunity.org to learn more.
Blue ribbons, blue jerseys, blue hats, blue bats, blue wristbands. That's what it's all about. HomeRunChallenge.org, as Mudd said. Another guy who's homered. Another guy who's homered twice in this series. John Harvis gave the Padres a 1-0 lead in the 2nd inning. They pitch out.
Wow, somebody missed a sign. Hughes nearly bounced that one.
And over at first, it looked like Myers may have been going, or at least was doing the thing where you act like you are and then you slam on the brakes.
Because Hughes, the way he threw that ball, where he threw that ball, in Bandy behind home plate, he was anticipating something up and away because he definitely got up out of the crouch. Or wanted to, at least.
See so few pitch outs these days. They're almost startling when they do happen. And particularly when not executed correctly. Looked almost as if he were taking all the way on 1-0, and Hughes gets the call. Solarte's home run in the second not only gave the Padres a 1-0 lead, it also extended his hitting streak to 5 games. And he has now hit in 9 of his last 10. Hughes got him to ground out to second base last night. And after a very long pause, Solarte requests timeout from the plate umpire Brian Onora. Two balls and a strike. Talk about Solarte hitting in 9 of his last 10. The only game in which he didn't hit was last Sunday against Kansas City. He walked twice in that game. So he's done an outstanding job of getting on base. We showed the numbers earlier, May versus June. All good for Solarte here in these final days of the spring. Three and one.
Good eye. Tough pitch to lay off. Especially when you're expecting to try to do some damage. Hitter count 2-1. And when you look at this pitch, yeah, you know, that's down and in. 95, but makes the count even better in his favor now. 3-1.
You're right. I mean, such a good example of the guy not pressing in a big spot.
Yeah.
It is a hitter's count. And ball 4. So back-to-back 2-out walks issued by Jared Hughes. Myers into scoring position. Solarte trotting to first. And Hunter Renfroe's coming up as the pitching coach Derek Johnson will pay a visit to the mound.
Well, a couple of things here. Probably just maybe settle down a little bit and just go over maybe a scouting report, since this will be the first time this game he faces Hunter Renfroe. Just on the same page with Bandy.
Renfroe hit his 15th home run in last night's game. And you look at the Padre rookie record held by Nate Colbert in 1969. Jed Jerko a few years back hit 23. Ryan Schimpf, of course, last year hit number 20. He is certainly in range of all of that.
Yeah, you look at Nate Colbert. Remember, that was at old San Diego Stadium when they didn't have that inside fence. It hit over the wall.
The actual, like, structural wall.
Yeah.
That was very far from home plate and very tall.
Yes.
Still, though, the game is the game. I'm not big on all the asterisk type talk. 2 outs for Renfroe. Solarte and Myers have each homered in the first 2 games of this series. Hunter went deep last night. And he takes it to dirt. It gets away from Bandy, but neither runner will try and advance. Playing it safe here with 2 outs. And Myers already in scoring position, not wanting to test it. Well, Hughes rolled right along in the 10th inning last night. 3 quick groundouts. But after he got the first 2 here in the 8th, walks to Myers and Solarte, and Padres have already scored a pair of 2-out runs today, looking for more. Hard hit, but pretty much right at Shaw. That will send us to the bottom of the 8th inning, still tied. A couple of men left on by the Padres here in the top of the 8th. 3-3 in Milwaukee.
We're at the Pink Factory. You guys ready? Tell us something about Kirby that we wouldn't know otherwise.
A lot of people think that Major League Baseball players just come out and it's natural and, you know, things are given to them. Kirby was really highly recruited out of high school, went to college, blew his elbow out, and was a hard road after that. But he never gave up.
Oh.
This week's Padres POV presented by Nissan after Padres Live on Fox Sports San Diego. Nice socks. 3-3 game here in Milwaukee. Bottom of the 8th inning. Number 8 hitter Orlando Arcia at the plate against the new Padre pitcher, left-hander Brad Hand. Andy Green said today, you know, we're trying to use him a little bit less, maybe not stretch out his outings quite as long. He got 4 guys yesterday, and here he is again this afternoon.
Yeah, an inning and a third yesterday. He's been old reliable, that's for sure.
It's got to be a fine line, right? I mean, this is his 33rd appearance. He led the major leagues in appearances a season ago. He wants to pitch. Can't be the easiest thing to manage if you're Darren Balsley and Andy Green.
You love when a player wants the ball. And that's what managing is all about, and being a pitching coach. You have to manage his innings and appearances. You're not going to throw him out there for 4 or 5 days in a row.
No balls in, 2 strikes to Arcia. And first base umpire Quinn Walcott disagrees with TV booth umpire Mark Grant.
He went.
Kirby Yates pitched the 7th, struck out the side. And now Brad Hand gets Arcia to lift one into left field. Perella comes on to make the play. That's one away, and now the pitcher's spot due up against the Padre left-hander. Jesus Aguilar going to pinch hit for the 2nd consecutive game. Saw him in the 9th inning last night. Lined out Corey Spangenberger, made a nice play on it.
So we have Jesse Aguilar. The Brewers have Jesus Aguilar.
Very similar, but different. I think he's also got a little more power than I do at the plate. Council's got that lineup card out, scribbling away. Aguilar, first man off the bench for them this afternoon. Matt Caesar, the only Padre to pinch hit so far. Last year, AAA for Cleveland, he led the International League in homers, RBIs, extra base hits, total bases. But then DFA'd, and Brewers picked him up as a waiver claim in February. A little bit of big league time, and here a pinch hit, base hit into left center field. Cordero coming over to cut it off. Aguilar's got power. He does not have speed, and he retreats to first base after taking a wide turn.
Did you see him lumbering around first base there?
It's a good word for it. He's a lumberer.
He's a big kid. And his job is just get on base, try not to take the extra base here. He went out and got a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and here he goes. Runaway beer truck. Whoa, 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 put on the brakes there, big fella.
When Eric Thames hit what turned out to be the game-winning homer 2 nights ago in St. Louis in the top of the 9th inning, Aguilar was on first, and Craig Counsell after the game said, you know, we were sort of kicking around whether to run for him or not.
Yeah.
And then Thames hit that ball that got over the fence by about an inch. And they were able to laugh about the fact that they didn't end up pinch hitting or pinch running for Aguilar at first base, because had that ball gone off the wall, there's no way Aguilar scores from first. So they know it. Not a fast guy. And they're not running for him here in this situation in a tie game in the 8th. If he gets into scoring position, perhaps that would change. Sogard has singled, scored, and struck out twice. 15 strikeouts for Padre pitching today, and now 0-2. Brewers, by the way, had a 26 strikeout game earlier this year. That tied the major league record. Beginning of the month against the Dodgers, obviously an extra inning game. It went 12. But 26 strikeouts, one game. Sogard drafted by the Padres, second round, 2007. Went to Oakland in the Kuzminoff deal. And he sends this one foul in the air the other way. Him again. Thames has homered in 4 straight, including today. Just a little bit high from Brad Hand, and now ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Eric Sogard.
He's grounded into 2 double plays this year. Tough to double up.
Now the 2-2. Off the end of the bat. Shallow center. Cordero will get there and make the play. And Aguilar lumbers back to first once again. 2 down. Mention that Eric Thames has homered in 4 straight. This was a 2-run shot in the 3rd inning against Dinelson Lamet.
Breaking ball for a strike, a 1-1 pitch. Remember earlier when Lamet was getting ahead of the Brewer hitters, he was dropping that slider out of the zone, especially lefties down and in for the swing and miss. That definitely sped up the bat of Thames.
5 of his 20 homers have come in the 7th inning or later. Not your pitch.
First pitch breaking ball.
He has talked about really learning how to hit those breaking balls thanks to his time in Korea. See a lot more of them there than you do in the U.S. Lays off that one. Two balls and a strike.
Outfield playing up Thames to go the other way. And you can see Brad Hand trying to pitch him away. If the breaking ball is on that outside part of the plate, yeah, it's going to be tough to pull, especially if it's down. Not a big lead at first by any means.
No reason to risk it for Aguilar, and a good breaking ball for a strike. 2-2. Hand can throw the slider, he can throw the curveball. Left side is wide open. Runner goes. And the 2-2 is popped out of play. So Aguilar trying to lull him to sleep over there with the small lead. Was taking off, but pitch was out of play. Aguilar not running this time, and strike 3 on the outside corner. Brad Hand does it again. The 16th strikeout by Padre pitching here this afternoon. We're going to go to the 9th inning. This game is still tied in Milwaukee. Evans Tire and Service Centers, home of the buy two, get two. Oh, we got tacos in San Diego too. 3-3 game in the 9th inning. Yesterday, it was 5-5 in the 9th. Brewers would end up winning it on a walk-off homer by Eric Thames in the 10th. That will not happen here this afternoon because Thames has been taken out of this ballgame. Made the final out in the bottom of the 8th, and so Jesus Aguilar, who had pinch hit earlier in the frame, will stay in the game to play first base. And Corey Knebel, who has been so good, will come on to pitch here in a tie game in the 9th inning for the 2nd consecutive ball game.
1 inning last night, he walked 1, he struck out 2. Hard thrower, aggressive in the zone, and it's unbelievable when you look at the strikeouts. The innings pitched and the splits, eye-popping.
He has at least 1 strikeout in all 35 appearances this season. He is 2 shy of the Aroldis Chapman record for most games to start in a season, most appearances to start a season with at least 1 strikeout by a reliever. Corey Spangenberg leads off. He takes the 97-mile-per-hour fastball, and it's 0-1. Corey has yet to reach base in this series. You've seen him bunt for hits this year. Try and get rallies started that way. He's got a 2-homer game. He can beat you in a couple different ways, but Knebel ahead of him, no balls and 2 strikes. Most consecutive games to start a season with at least 1 strikeout by a relief pitcher. Knebel in the 9th inning yesterday struck out Cordoba and Cordero. Did not face Spangenberg. Another 0-2 to Corey. Beautiful curveball, make it 36 consecutive games, 1 away. No, not wasting any time. And now 1 away from tying that record.
Well, just when you're thinking of the fastball, you get the breaky ball. When you think of the breaky ball, you get the fastball. Outside part of the plate for the called strike.
Austin Hedges against Corey Knebel.
Okay, I'm just thinking of something. And this is 10 people in a room. You get 12 different opinions. I'm not so sure I'd want to double switch and take one of my better hitters out of the game as a threat.
I agree with that. And I mean,
just a thought.
Are they trying to get multiple innings out of Knebel?
I wouldn't think so.
Me neither. So then, what does it hurt? One of those deals where you figure they have more of a sense of things going on than we do down in that Milwaukee dugout.
Right.
Craig Counsell is bench coach, Pat Murphy. But yeah, I mean, pitcher's spot, not anytime soon in terms of offense. You see it sometimes with a long reliever.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if this game were to go 11, 12 innings, you know, he's going to get one more at bat, and he's a definite threat. Just a thought.
I mean, he's your best hitter.
Right.
It's that simple. Each of your last 2 wins are because of home runs he hit. He's already hit one today. Talking about Eric Thames.
Speaking of home runs, how about Austin Hedges getting the head out and breaking this tie?
Sign me up. Fastball is grounded foul. Fastball or curveball. Alan Cordoba is next. Two to Hedges is in the dirt. That one at 98. And now the count is full on the Padre catcher.
Got to be looking heater here, don't you? Well, like I said, breaking ball. No, he shook it off. So fastball in.
Payoff pitch to Hedges is hit in the air down the left field line. Perez not going to get there. It's a fair ball and into the corner. Hedges will cruise into second base. That is a big time double from Austin Hedges. And the Padres have the potential go ahead run in scoring position with 1 out here in the 9th.
He turned on the fastball. He was quick to it. Boy, that ball, you know, if taken, that's 97. 97 in off the plate, getting the hands in and keeping it fair. That is some good hitting by Austin Hedges.
So Hedges gets himself to second base with a double. And the Padres now will have Alan Cordoba coming up.
That's very impressive. 97 off the plate.
Yeah, how he kept it fair, I've got no idea. Brewers took game 1 of this series last night in 10 innings. Padres trying for some late, dramatic, heroic stuff here this afternoon. Hedges with the double somehow on that 97-mile-per-hour fastball from Knebel. And how about this for a spot for Alan Cordoba? "21 years old. Against one of the best relief pitchers in baseball this year, Cordoba trying to put the Padres in front. Breaking ball strike. 0-1.
That's a knee buckler there, huh?
Yeah, right. You're 21. You get all geared up for the 97-mile-per-hour fastball, and he starts you off with that.
Yeah, I don't think he faced guys like this back in A-ball.
Probably not. At Johnson City last year.
Yeah.
Appalachian League. Rookie ball. Bends back from that one. It missed. 1-1. Mentioned they did go head-to-head last night. Cordoba the first man Knebel faced, and he struck out. So he gets his second shot at the Brewer closer here today. Hedges doubled. He's in scoring position. Strike 2. Cordoba 2 years ago was the Gulf Coast League MVP. Knebel on top of him, a ball and 2 strikes. Got it.
Tell you what, Knebel's not afraid to throw that fastball into the righties. Even after Hedges put that one down the left field line for the double at 97 off the plate, he continues to just pepper that inside at 98. In on the fist, in on the hands, can't get extended for the whiff.
So Knebel now with 2 outs, and the pinch hitter will be Eric Ibar. Brad Hand's day is done. An inning, a hit, and a strikeout. See the numbers in 58 games for Ibar. Switch hitter. Flew out as a pinch hitter in the 9th last night. Stayed in to play shortstop. That was against Knebel.
Hey, I'll take a flare right here.
Put it in play. Takes inside, 1-0.
How about a flare? How about a Fresca?
Not playing your reindeer games.
Little broken bat running on the swing run.
With 2 outs, Hedges will be going on contact, and now 2 balls and no strikes. Great crowd on this Father's Day weekend. They announced it at over 34,000 here in Milwaukee, and they're getting a second consecutive very entertaining ball game between the Padres and the Brewers. Last night the locals celebrated. Ibar and the Padres trying to break their hearts here today. Pick off at second, and Hedges has to scramble back. Nice job by Arcia, tiptoeing back behind him undetected.
Is it daylight play? Yeah, you bet. He sneaks behind the runner there. Hey, good reaction. Also having to reach across after going to the bag, back to the shortstop side.
Ibar waiting on Knebel. Several looks at Hedges. Now the 2-0. 3-0. And with first base open, Jose Perella on deck. Perhaps Knebel choosing to pick his battle here. Mentioned though, he did get Ibar last night. Myers homered on 3-0 earlier, and Ibar looked like he was taken all the way. Now 3-1. Tied in the 9th for the second consecutive game. And another look at Hedges, who represents a very big potential run. Ground ball to first base. Aguilar just into the game, has it, takes it, and will go to the bottom of the 9th. This thing is still tied. Hedges stranded at second after the double. 33 here this afternoon. And with Santana, Shaw, and Perez due up 3, 4, and 5, the Padres here in a tie game on the road will go to their closer, Brandon Maurer.
Well, we know the power of this Brewer team. Brandon Maurer, though, on the other hand, has got some power himself, and the numbers prove it. He has been very, very aggressive lately going after hitters. The 27 strikeouts, 25+ innings pitched, very few walks. So he's got some work to do. We talk about walk-offs, Jesse. Major League Baseball leaders.
Maurer last pitched on Wednesday, picking up save number 12 against Cincinnati in that sweep of the Reds. And he misses to Santana, 1-0. A couple of years ago, honestly, maybe even last year, you would almost never, ever see a team bring in their closer on the road in a tie game. And now it's really part of the accepted baseball practice book. Part of the order, go to the best guy you've got left. Worry about the save later.
Sure.
And that's exactly what Andy Green has chosen to do by bringing in Maurer here to face 3, 4, and 5. Santana 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. This one, a long run for Myers. Gets there and makes the catch. Big one away.
That is not an easy play. You've got name and number towards the outfield, infield area. You've got the flash look. It's really not a ball that's hung up there a long time to where he can camp. And Will Myers, he takes it away from Cha-Cha there. Oh, nice try there, buddy.
That is Cha-Cha, huh?
Yeah.
One out. Travis Shaw, strike one. Shaw also 0 for 3, but he has doubled against Maurer the one time he saw him. Homered last night, and he takes a fastball outside, 1-1. Shaw was the last guy the Padres starter Dinelson Lamet faced back in the 6th inning. Got him to ground into an inning-ending double play.
You know, we talk about splits a lot, Jesse. The splits for Brandon Maurer are just, I can't explain it. Opposing hitters at home at Petco Park hitting 173, on the road 373. Can't explain it.
There are some things that aren't explainable. Truly, you know, I mean, I think with all the numbers and the stats that we've got available to ourselves, sometimes there's just weird random stuff that happens. It's not always something that can be explained. Now, if it's consistent over a number of seasons, where the guy is, you know, crazy home and road splits, all right, maybe there's something to it. Chacin this year, home, great, really struggles on the road. Never been like that before in his career. That one's hit hard but foul. And still 2-2 to Travis Shaw. Former Red Sox battling with Maurer. Now the 2-2. Hard hit and fouled again.
Late, 99.
Brewers traded for him this winter. They sent Tyler Thornburg to Boston, and we just found out, what, in the last day or so, that Thornburg is done for the year, hasn't even pitched for the Red Sox. And now a grounder to Solarte. Shaw threw the bat down in disgust. And Maurer gets the first two here in the bottom of the ninth. Padres going toe-to-toe with the first-place team here. Lost in 10 last night, and now Brandon Maurer an out away from sending us to extra innings again. First pitch swinging. Myers going back. Solarte there, Renfroe there. Myers reaching back and making the catch. Not the easiest play in the world, but he makes it. And Brandon Maurer, against the heart of the Milwaukee order, works a 1-2-3 bottom of the ninth. How about that glove work from the Padre first baseman? extra innings in Milwaukee again. Game of this 3-game series in Milwaukee coming up tomorrow afternoon. Father's Day baseball in the morning. We open it up with Padres Live, the pregame show at 10:30. Luis Perdomo will be on the mound. Finally got his first win of the season, his last time out. Jimmy Nelson scheduled to go for the Brewers. We hope you'll join us tomorrow. 10:30 for the pregame show and 11:10 first pitch. Will it be the rubber match of this 3-game series, or will the Padres be out there trying to avoid the sweep? We don't know yet, because we're in the 10th inning here this afternoon in a 3-3 game at Miller Park. Top of the order for the Padres here in the 10th inning, and the new pitcher for the Brewers is the right-hander Carlos Torres. Did not see him in last night's game. He was the winning pitcher on Thursday night in St. Louis, thanks to Eric Thames' home run then. 36th appearance of the year for a guy who had a ton of appearances for them a season ago. 72 times he was summoned from the bullpen in 2016. First pitch strike to Perella, 0-1. 3 flyouts and a ground out today for Perella. Jose walked his last time up last night. That's the only time he's reached safely in this series so far. And now the count even, 1 ball and 1 strike. We talked about it a little bit last night in extra innings. Young players, close and late extra innings. You get a little antsy up there and
want to be the hero, right?
That's it. See how these guys handle it. Perella and Cordero, the first 2 men due to hit.
Yeah, nothing wrong with a walk, passing it on to the next guy for an extra base hit or maybe another walk. Hey, it's okay even if you play station to station this late.
Out in front, fouls it off, 1-2.
Free baseball from America's Dairyland coming at you.
The good land.
Milwaukee. It's Algonquin for the good land.
1-2 to Perella, reaching for it. And sends that one off the facing of the upper deck here at Miller Park.
Just ask Alex Cooper.
Wayne's World.
Great flick.
Very fun. Padres in the 10th inning yesterday were set down in order by Jared Hughes. They're working on Carlos Torres here today. He's got his sign from Bandy and the 1-2 to Perella. Got it.
Good breaking ball.
First time Perella has struck out this afternoon. Starter Chase Anderson at 6, Knebel at 2. Now 1 for Torres.
Torres has given up 6 home runs in 35+ innings.
Cordero has hit 3. Both recently. Coming in the first 2 games of that Red Series at Petco this week. This is a ground ball. Nicely handled on a funny hop by Sogard. 2 away. All right, you got Will Myers coming up.
Big horse, big situation. We've got Solarte on deck. Out to have a chat is Bandy with Torres. How they're going to go after Will Myers. I'm guessing first pitch breaking ball. Flip one up there.
Myers tied the game at 3 with 2 outs in the 6th inning by hitting his 14th home run of the year.
See, like I said, fastball away. This is what's great about baseball.
You never know. You think you know.
He is keeping it away, though. And deep in the outfield is Broxton, straightaway center.
Yeah, no doubles defense. There's your breaking ball. It backs up on him. 1 ball and 1 strike to Myers. '34-year-old Carlos Torres, been around. I saw him in the big leagues before Milwaukee with the Mets. Major League debut back in '09 with the White Sox. Briefly a Rocky. Pitched for Team Mexico in the World Baseball Classic this year. And now 3 balls and a strike to Myers.
Hey, remember earlier, green light 3-0. Why not right here? Although it's 3-1, my bad. I'll be all right.
Myers did single against Torres back in May at Petco. And he takes outside ball 4. Just the 3rd walk issued by Brewer pitching here this game.
A lot of pitches away from Torres to the first baseman of the Padres, Will Myers. Let's go back to the first pitch. 94 fastball away. That breaking ball gets the inside corner. So you see a theme from here on out. Away, away, away. Thinking that Will Myers is going to chase. There's 95. He'll pass it along to the next guy, as we mentioned earlier.
Will the Padres send him in motion? That's one of the questions here.
They're thinking right along there with you.
It's a risk reward kind of thing.
Sure.
You've got a guy at the plate that's more than capable of leaving the yard. He's already done so twice in this series. 1-0 to Solarte. Could be one of those 2 if they fall behind in the count. Maybe get the 2 strikes. Send Myers. One to Will. Excuse me, to Solarte, and it's fouled back. 1-1. So Torres, who, as we said, pitched for Mexico in the World Baseball Classic, facing off with Yangervis Solarte, part of Team Venezuela. Fun tournament this year.
It was fun, very exciting.
One ball and 1 strike, and another check on Myers.
Yeah, you want to double check and see that ball actually going back to the pitcher, right? You don't want to get hit with the hidden ball trick. Yeah, there are some runners that will be nonchalant, just take their their hand off the bag and transfer to the foot, and just for that split second you get tagged.
Does not happen often, but when it does, oof. Big lead. You sending him at any point here?
Sure. If you get a good jump, I say go.
Not running, and the 1-1 is a fastball for a strike.
Looks like a good fastball to hack at.
A lot of attention being paid to Will Myers by that guy, Carlos Torres. One-two, runner goes. Pitch is high, throw is not in time and into center field.
Go.
And with 2 outs, Myers not going to risk it.
I thought he had a chance.
Steals his 9th base of the season and now in scoring position for Solarte.
Look at how far back they're playing in center field. And you know what? Good job by Broxton coming in quickly.
Look, with 1 out, you're probably pushing it, right? I get that.
You're right, though, with 2 outs. Going on the crack of the bat, probably scoring on a single anyway. I got a little froggy there.
It's a big spot. It happens. 2-2 is grounded over to first base and a foul ball.
Was that off his foot? Because I tell you what, the way that ball hit around home plate and then landed behind first base, it looked like it had a good chance of going over the bag. It was just a foul ball.
2-2 to Solarte. In the air down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone. It is gone. Solarte's 2nd home run of the day. And he puts the Padres in front. This guy has been unbelievable. Get ready for the alligator clap. It's going to be a big one, I think. There it is. 5-3 Padres in the 10th.
That was quite a battle right there. And wow, we saw earlier in the game Austin Hedges turning on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball for the double down the left field line. How about Jan Harvis turning on that pitch, if taken, a ball? A little smile to his teammates. 2-run shot.
Huge. He homered yesterday, twice today. And now strike 1 to Hunter Renfroe.
And in the hole, 2-2. Hey, you know, we talk about all the time, there are home runs and then there are huge home runs. That's huge. It's huge.
Renfroe takes. That one is away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, we're going another inning.
Nobody throwing in the Padre bullpen. Renfroe swings and misses 1 and 2. It won't be a save situation, but it is for Brandon Maurer. Since he pitched the bottom of the 9th inning, he's the pitcher of record right now. But he's got to treat it obviously like a save situation. Renfroe takes strike 3. That ends the top of the 10th inning. Couple of strikeouts in the frame for Carlos Torres, but that is not the headline. The lead story is that guy, Yangervis Solarte, with his 2nd home run of the game, and the Padres are in front here in the 10th. They belong, both of them, to that guy, Yangervis Solarte. In the 2nd inning, a lead home run, his 8th of the year. That put the Padres on top 1-0. And you say, hey, thanks, Yangervis, nice work. How about the 10th inning, though? Another one, and this one a 2-run shot to put the Padres on top 5-3 in extra innings. All smiles for Solarte. And a 2-run advantage with Brandon Maurer out on the mound for a 2nd inning of work, trying to close this thing down. Maurer got Santana, Shaw, and Perez 1, 2, 3 in the 9th. Now he deals with 6, 7, and 8 in the Brewer batting order. Bandy, Broxton, and Arcia.
And the longest outing this year for Brandon Maurer is inning and 2/3. That was back on April 30th against the Giants.
First pitch swung on and missed. 97 from Maurer.
And he threw 13 pitches last inning, so not bad for Brandon Maurer.
Should have a good amount in the tank here. For Solarte, obviously dramatics. It is his 3rd 2-homer game. 2 of them have been here at Miller Park. 1 ball and 1 strike. And this is now a 2-1 count to the pinch hitter, Nick Franklin. Two and 2 to the switch hitter. Did it get him? It did. Very close. Andy Green could challenge that if he wanted to. Now the tying run at the plate for the Brewers. It's Keon Broxton. In the air, center field. He hit a 3-run shot yesterday, He ties it in the 10th here tonight. Keon Broxton's season can be defined by home runs and strikeouts. He struck out each of his first 3 times up, and now a 2-run homer in the 10th.
Well, the strikeouts are there, we know, but when you gauge a fastball 96 right down the middle, he gets it started early, he gets it out front, he gets it elevated, and that spells 2-run shot. Ouch.
Still nobody out. Arcia, a hard hit, base hit, left field.
You know, we talk about location of the fastball. How about the location of the breaking ball as well? That's over the heart of the plate.
He is a definite stolen base threat.
Case of bad location on both types of pitches this inning for Brandon Maurer.
Second at bat now for the first baseman Aguilar. All one. Pops it up. One out as Cordoba makes the play. Top of the order now. And Eric Sogard. Might be all for Brandon Maurer. Andy Green out there to chat with Brian Honor. That means a double switch. Chase Darno coming into the game. It looks like Hunter Renfroe is leaving the field, and Jose Torres was throwing for the Padres. So in the bottom of the 10th inning, we are tied now 5-5, and Darno going out to play right field as part of a double switch. Left-handed pitching, Jose Torres.
Last time out for Jose was Sunday against the Kansas City Royals at home. It was an inning, gave up a run. Lefties hitting .224 off Jose. Pretty good numbers. Few walks in those 30-plus innings.
Brewers have just tied the game 5-5 on the 2-run homer by Keon Broxton. Arcia is at first base with one away.
Oh, this is a battle right here. Eric Sogard this year versus left-handed pitchers, hitting .360. But on the other hand, as I mentioned, Jose Torres lefties .224. Stay tuned.
First pitch strike to Sogard, who's 1 for 4 today. He's just having a really nice season.
Yes, he is. You know, using the whole field, staying that front side against lefties, using the center, left field line, part of the diamond. You know, the majority of lefties on lefties, they pitch away.
Quickly ahead of him, no balls and 2 strikes.
That pitch there late middle in, but that was not his intent. He wanted to go away on that pitch.
No balls and 2 strikes to Sogard. Torres in to face him. Mentioned Garneau into play right field. This is just his 2nd major league appearance ever in right. Keep that in mind if the ball heads his way. Played 1 game with Atlanta last season in right field. After he appeared at first base the other day for the Padres, he has now appeared in a game at every position besides pitcher and catcher. But he's really, more than anything, a shortstop. Nothing in 2 to Sogard. And he spoils that one foul the other way. They throw over to first base to check on Arcia, who has not shown any signs of running. He's stolen 4 bases this year, been caught 3 times, and Torres obviously is a left-hander, has that advantage of looking right at him. The third 0-2 pitch. Got him. Jose Torres strikes out Eric Sogard, who has K'd for the 3rd time today. Now 18 strikeouts for Padre pitching here this afternoon. And how about this? They haven't walked anybody.
That's outstanding. And speaking of outstanding, that last pitch from Torres, watch the breaking ball, but watch the front side of Sogard. Opens up the hips, the shoulder towards the Brewer dugout. That pitch down and away. No chance of Sogard making contact with that one, doing any damage. Big out for the left-hander.
This would have been Eric Thames' spot now, but Craig Counsell double switched. Or I guess left Aguilar into play first base after he pinch hit in the 8th. And so Manny Pena, who homered last night, will pinch hit here for the pitcher Torres. Against the pitcher Torres.
So Pena's got to go in the game, right? Because they pinch hit for Bandy. They'll be catching, right?
Nick Franklin hit for Bandy. He was hit by a pitch with 2 strikes. The next batter, Broxton, homered to retie the game. Here's the 1-0 from Torres. Hard hit down the line, left field, foul. About a foot. Pena just getting back to home plate. Tied up in the bottom of the 10th.
Well, both managers now down to 1 bench player left. Lewis Brinson for the Brewers. Luis Torrens for Andy Green's Padres.
National League Baseball. Double switches. Pitching change. Guys playing out of position. Hedges snap throw. Very close. Nice tag by Myers, but Arcia able to get back. 2-1.
Love it. Love that play. You got the front door open with the right-handed hitter. So quick with his feet. Starts with the feet, then the quick release from Austin Hedges. He's fun to watch.
Did he hit him? Yep. And now Arcia will be pushed into scoring position with 2 outs, and Santana coming to the plate. Looked like he got him just below the right knee. Second hit batter of the inning. Mauer hit Franklin with 2 strikes. Next guy homer. That tied the game at 5. And now the potential winning run in scoring position for the Brewers as the training staff is going to go out and check on Manny Pena. And like you said, by the way, he's got to stay in and catch if we go to the 11th. So they better hope he's okay. Looks like he's all right. Strike 1 to Domingo Santana. He's 0 for 7 in this series. That's Arcia, the potential winning run. He's 180 feet away. Popped him up. Darno, second career game in right field, makes the catch. We'll go to the 11th A 2-run homer by Keon Broxton reties it. Now 5-5 at Miller Park. Few more dingers here this afternoon, including a 2-run shot by Keon Broxton to retie the game in the bottom of the 10th inning. And now it's Oliver Drake on to pitch for the second consecutive day. Worked a 1-2-3 7th last night. He got Caesar, Perella, and Cordero. Then he's got Spangenberg, Hedges, and Cordova scheduled here today.
Not really the best splits, especially righties. A 359 clip off of Oliver Drake. That's combination between the Orioles and the Brewers. A frustrating last half inning. Got to erase it and go to hack in this inning.
Still in it. You see Pena stays in to catch after Bandy was pinch hit for. Pena hit by a pitch. Corey Spangenberg 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, but he sends this one in the air to deep right field, and you can forget it. For a second consecutive extra inning, the Padres hit a homer. This time it puts them on top 6-5 in the 11th. Corey Spangenberg has tied his career high with 4 home runs.
That happened quickly.
Quite. First pitch.
All over it. Once again, a ball off the plate in. We've seen that a few times this afternoon.
And that's way out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Hedges takes a fastball strike. High fives, handshakes in the dugout.
No dabbing.
No. Not on your club.
No.
Hedges hits that one hard down the left field line, but it will be foul. Another inside fastball he's turning on.
Yeah.
Wow. That was even closer than it looked like in real time. As it is, it's strike 2. Padres hit 3 home runs yesterday against Milwaukee pitching. 4 more today. And still, all but 1 run in this series has come via home run.
It's unbelievable.
And it's a high-scoring series. 11 runs today combined, 11 runs yesterday combined. And the only hit that brought in a run that was not a homer was Renfroe's RBI double in the 4th today.
It's a good old-fashioned home run derby.
There it is. Hedges again hard hit, this time on the ground and foul. Get that guy a glove, huh?
Yeah, he's getting a workout down there.
I'm just saying, you're going to have the guest services guy trying to field foul balls. You should get him a mitt. Seems like asking a lot.
That's not too hard.
Hedges in the air. Arcia makes the call and the catch. That's the first down here in the top of the 11th inning. Oliver Drake gets one. They got a whole thing going on, don't they? It's not just the dabbing. Yeah, I'm starting to pick up on it now. A couple of games in.
What did you see there?
They're having some fun. Another dance move. I don't know the name of it, but he had a little something going. They have fun, this Brewer team. They've got some really good, young, talented players. Cordoba, first pitch. Ooh, nicely handled by Shaw. 2 away.
That's why they call it the hot corner, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see if they do a dance. Travis Shaw wants no part of it. See? Just a good old-fashioned third baseman. I'll make the play. I'll let my glove do the talking. I'll let my glove do the dance.
He's a regular Brooks Robinson. So not everybody's in on it. Here's Chase Darno, first time up. Made the catch in right field that ended the 10th. And a fastball strike, 0-1. First time we've seen Chase since the Royals series. He did not appear against the Reds and did not appear in yesterday's game. How about that? He's now played every position besides pitcher and catcher in the big leagues. Pretty cool little accomplishment.
That is cool. Yeah.
And he sends this one out to deep left center field. Is Darno adding on? He is. Another homer. 5th of the game for the Padres. 2nd here in the 11th.
This is one of the most unbelievable things I think I've witnessed in the 2-game series in Milwaukee. The home runs, the runs scored. This is incredible.
Most home runs the Padres have hit in a game this season.
Outer third, 84 off speed.
Now the leadoff man, Jose Pirela, takes a strike. Wow. All smiles for Chase Darno, and with good reason. Gives the Padres a 2-run lead again. That's what they had in the 10th. Couldn't hold it. We'll see what happens in the 11th. Pirela reaching and missing, and that'll end the top half of inning number 11. Padres, though, hit 2 more home runs to take another extra inning lead. Corey Spangenberg trying to prove to be the game winner. Yanks one out to deep right field. Darno would add on. Padres by 2. 11th, Corey Spangenberg hit his 4th home run of the year on the very first pitch that Oliver Drake threw in the top of the 11th inning. Little reminder, too, Drake was the guy that gave up the walk-off homer to Renfroe last month at Petco Park.
Remember, it was a split-figure fastball at Petco Park, a split-figure fastball at Spangenberg.
And now Travis Shaw out to deep center field. Cordero's got room. He's got the catch. We got one out. Woo! Everybody's swinging for the fences in this series. And with the way the ball is carrying, you certainly understand why. One away for Torres and the Padres here in the bottom of the 11th.
This series has been like a couple days at the batting cages. Everybody's just taking their hacks.
Darno with the second homer to provide the cushion, and Torres got the left-handed batter. And with Hernan Perez, the next man due, Andy Green will bring on Phil Maton to try and pick up his first big league save. Third base, Margot and Ibar trying to get him to do the Solarte alligator clap. That is about as close as he got. Not bad. I'll give you half credit on that one, I think, Chase. The run is the thing, though. And Darno goes deep with the Padres up 7-5. And now, with one out in the bottom of this 11th inning, Phil Maton is coming out looking for his first big league save, and a fastball is high to Hernan Perez. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, what a great situation for Phil Maton to come out here and try to close this one out. Only his 4th game. Got the 2-run pad. No base runners inherited.
One-0 pitch is a called strike. 1-1. Ooh, how about 95 from Maton? We don't often see that from him. Perez today, a single in the 4th, and that's it.
I'm sure the adrenaline is pumping a little bit for Maton here.
No doubt about that. Hit hard. Maybe a foul ball. 1-2. Maton was closing games at AAA for El Paso. He was 13 for 13 in save opportunities for the Chihuahuas. He's being asked to get 2 outs with a 2-run cushion here to collect the save. Ahead of Perez, a ball and 2 strikes. In the air, right field. Darno again, not experienced out there. Over towards the line. Not able to make the catch. A foul ball. Very close.
Well, where does his glove hit the ball? He may have whiffed on that ball as far as hitting his glove.
Red Counsel can't challenge that. Pat Murphy on the phone. Yeah, they're going to challenge it. I think at this one, I mean, you just consider the game situation.
Right.
It's worth a shot, right?
I was concentrating on the ball hitting the ground. I really wasn't looking at that last replay if the ball hit his glove in fair territory.
Let's take a peek. I don't think it hit the glove.
You know what? Any way you look at it, that's a tough call for an umpire, right?
I mean, we've not seen anything that would, I think, lead them to overturning. Tarno himself watching the replay on the big board. And again, prior to last inning, he had appeared in right field once as a major leaguer last season with the Braves.
And the ball's found him twice.
Twice. And in big spots. In the 10th inning, pop up to right that he had a little bit of trouble with. If he doesn't catch it, the winning run scores and the game's over. And now here in the 11th with one out, the Brewers are challenging whether this ball was fair or foul. Again, I haven't seen anything that would make you think that they could overturn this one. One thing I think I can say with some certainty is that it did not hit his glove, right, until after it bounced. So that makes it a little bit more of a clean play. Quinn Walcott is the first base umpire. He made the call. Paul Emmel, the crew chief, on the phone. Hernan Perez, I mean, he's standing by home plate. I think he's expecting to come up and hit here. And yeah, they'll say foul ball. So the Brewers do not win the challenge. Kind of a Hail Mary, right? You're down a couple runs in extra innings. Might as well give it a shot.
Sure.
One last look at it down the right field line here. Darno, by the way, taking nothing for granted, getting up, making the throw.
Yep. Little road rash to go along with it there on the left elbow.
So after all of that, it's a ball and 2 strikes to Hernan Perez. Got him. Maton elevates the fastball. It's what he does best. And the Padres 1 out away from a wild 11-inning win here in Milwaukee.
Look at Austin Hedges, right? That's exactly where he wants it. And talk about being coachable. Phil Maton with the heater up the ladder. Makes it look easy.
So Maton 1 out away. And now Lewis Brinson, the last man available to Craig Counsell off his bench, will come up to hit. Brinson made his Miller Park debut last night, playing in his 7th major league game now. He's 2 for 17 at the plate, and he takes strike 1 from Maton. A couple of very talented young guys going head to head here after these two teams have traded blows all afternoon. Brinson in 45 games at AAA. A .312 average, 6 homers, 13 doubles. Maton, great numbers himself at AAA. And Brinson just trying to keep it going with that guy Broxton on deck. 1-2.
Stuck with the fastball and up again. Well, two times. Austin Hedges has indicated, hey, I want it up, and he has hit the target. Fastball up again.
If it works, stick with it. The 1-2 from Maton, got him, and the Padres win the game. Phil Maton comes on to strike out Perez and Brinson to earn his first major league save, and in 11, the Padres win a wild one over the Milwaukee Brewers. Spangenberg and Darno go deep in the top of the 11th, and then in the bottom half, it was this guy, Phil Maton.
There are scouting reports, and then there are scouting reports that you stick to the plan, and Maton did that. Every single pitch he threw when he was out there, he executed the plan, and guess what? You're going to crack open the paper, you're going to look on the internet.